Okay, we're live. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to MIRRORMOURN. I'm your Dungeon Master, Esper. And with us, as always, we have...
Hello, I'm Warsor and I play Walykos, the third level Paragon of the Trickster.
I am Vince. I am playing Vapor, the level 3 Wild Magic Sorcerer.
I am Nick. I am playing the level 3 Swashbuckler Rogue Adriel.
And I'm Adam, and I'm playing the Hobgoblin Artificer, Aygir.
Rhymes with Aygir.
That it does.
Okay, so I believe my internet connection is fixed. Thank you all for bearing with the technical difficulties last time.
Unacceptable.
I forgot to charge my headphones. Hopefully that doesn't cause any kind of audio issues. They are charging currently, so there's a chance I'll be able to switch over to them at some point during the stream. But yeah, here we are. We are continuing through the lava ruins that are not any great distance away from the Arcane Sanctum. And you all want to claim this area for yourself. You want to not only have your own potential lair and workshop, but also eradicate some threats, the Balai and whatever other mechanical lingering things from the older age. So a couple decent motivations to get this place secured. That and just good old adventuring and treasure hunting. On a more broader scale, you all here in within 2 days tops are planning to get out of Barnacle to go across the tether to then get to a small town called Sandbeer, meet up with some halflings and hire a halfling boatman, or even get with the flotilla to get down to a southern island called Blackrock Isle and intercept or beat out this party, this rival company who is being sent by Bale Vondor.
Yeah.
To recover something. There's some relic on Blackrock Isle that has to do with weaponry and tech deployed during the siege of Eaberg when the elves initially came here and defeated the giants. So, but we can get to that longer term stuff later on. For the time being, we're in this dungeon, and you all were just starting to chat a bit about what you think is the best next step to take from where you're at here.
So I think the plan is to get a rest for our spellcasters.
Yes, but probably not immediately.
Not
We
immediately.
still
Not
have a
immediately,
couple of places, at least on this floor, now that we know that there are floors implied by the fact that there are stairs. We probably want to at least just poke our heads down those 2 remaining areas off to the left and then to the right that comes around that firewall just to see what's there.
Yep.
So make sure it won't come and attack us if we're resting.
Yeah, we've completed mapping most of the sort of inside. There's a couple outside little spots to roll off. So I say we head back the way we came and check out the path to the left there, right above the stairs.
Yeah, I'm of the same mind. I think that'd be the best one to hit first.
Do you all want me to really quickly recap what you've uncovered on the map?
Couldn't hurt.
Okay, so there are some giant skeletons, and here's a way heading westward into unknown. Here's a way heading westward downstairs into unknown. This is a firewall, though the heat wave is not radiating on this side; it's radiating on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
These are some unexplored either corridors or just alcoves.
Alcoves, yeah.
There were some blackened footprints you saw around this area. You've defeated some mechanical creatures, some clockwork creatures. This room here is oppressively hot, and the fire in this room, or the lava, I should say, is a bit different. Whereas the others are where the ground has eroded or deteriorated away, exposing veins of magma. This room actually is a pit of it that it seems to be intentional.
Mhm.
You defeated this arcane obelisk here. There's a frieze on this wall depicting some giant warrior or giant master being grabbed up by tentacles or slimy tendrils from below.
How can there be a freeze when it's so hot?
No! And
Get out.
here's the heat wall, a firewall here where the heat does radiate out in this direction.
Mhm.
There is an opaque, thick cloud of
Smoke.
smoke here, and some other minor details in these other ruined chambers.
Yeah.
Does that about recap everything?
Well,
Yeah,
also in
Yeah.
the room we're standing now, I don't know how important it will be, but we did learn that
Oh,
the
yes.
clockwork things seem to be powered by some central crystal object, like a heart or some
Mm-hmm.
core.
Yes. And it seems that this one that is in the room that you're in, though it is rusted like the others, could be made functional again. There might be a couple steps involved with that, primarily finding the crystalline core.
Well, Walykos turns to the rest of the group and is like, well, it looks like there's nothing else in here. We should probably head back the way we came and explore that other alcove to the west.
Yes, for once, I will say something bothers me about what I haven't seen down here.
What do you mean?
Well, of all the problems we've run into, to think that there are still unexplored parts to this place. There could be terrible things down there. There could be Mobathai. There could be worse.
Well, as you're aware, this is not unexpected. This whole island once was ruled by the giants, and barely scratching the surface, the elves have built their home upon just the topmost ruins of the city that once the giants ruled over.
This
So-
is true. This is true. And I must say, I am intrigued to know what all the giants might have gotten up to down here.
Well, with that in mind, let us continue cautiously moving forward. And Walykos will motion to Adriel to take up, the place next to him as they head back the way they came.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm assuming
Adriel.
we're-
So yeah, I assume we were in the same positioning.
Same order. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I'm next to Walykos though, instead of in front.
correct. Walykos would be beside.
Does that look like a good formation?
Yep.
Yeah, that's fine.
That seems fine.
That seems fine. Okay, so remind me, or let's decide what is the next nook that you want to explore.
We're
It's
going-
the one to the west, that bottom left area.
Yeah,
Here?
that's the closest.
That's the one.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to move the tokens of Walykos and Adriel. We'll remember
Yeah.
that Aygir and Vapor are like 10 feet behind.
It's not gonna. Nothing's gonna happen where we have control and be like, no, you meant to put us here.
Yeah. So you go and you do your scouting, and you look down this way here, and what you see is a pathway that
It's been-
leads in
yeah.
for a time, and then turns. I might need to actually do a drawing really fast here.
Yeah.
Which I do feel I'm getting somewhat better at
Mhm.
getting into map tool. I actually recently used my Wacom tablet and pen to on the fly draw a map during another adventure, and that was quite enjoyable. It made me remember how much I miss playing in person.
I actually did when I was at work one time. I had a little extra time, and I was drawing a maze map thing on my iPad.
Nice.
It's quite satisfying to draw dungeon maps, even if they're somewhat simple. I don't know, it just gives me that classic D&D feeling.
There's something about challenging yourself too to do it on an index card or a post-it note and just see how like much tight content you can fit in such a small space.
Mm-hmm.
You could even like you could even like make your own like dungeon tiles with like post-it
Can-
notes and like index
Can you
cards.
scroll a little bit to the left, Esper, on the map view?
You scout ahead a bit, and not far beyond the curve, there is a total collapse.
Mm-hmm. Looking around the collapse, are there any of those constructs? Is there anything, indicating like what happened here?
You see no constructs, nothing stands out, sticks
Mhm.
out to you. It doesn't even seem like this was a corridor that had been constructed, rather a rift through the rock of the earth.
Yep. Gotcha. Well, now that we've ruled out that there's nothing of value here that we, immediately see, let's back out.
Okay.
I mean, the rocks themselves, they look like they've been there for a while,
They do.
but they
They're
fell there
not-
naturally.
It doesn't seem
Yeah.
like a
Okay.
recent collapse.
Well, once we've cleared the place out, we can take more time to examine this corridor. Maybe there's a way to excavate it, find out if there's something further where it goes to.
I do hope you know I expect you to bring a shovel as well when we come back here once we are sure we won't be attacked.
Yeah, you can expect a lot of things.
All right, so maybe this will be a to be continued here. Do you go
Yeah.
looking somewhere else next?
The one over on the right side
Actually,
where it looks... Oh,
if
For
I
what?
may suggest, let's go just slightly south to the corridor with the stairs, and then walk our way back to the right, because
just to
there's
see
all
what's
those
in the alcove.
cubbies.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of cubbies.
Wait,
And
what about what's that thing on the left there? Have we been through that?
Not there, Esper. The other way.
Have we been through that area though on the left?
Not yet.
The
Not yet,
stairs? No.
Yeah, okay. I was just
Yeah.
checking. Yeah, we're just
That's-
dealing with this first floor first. Yeah.
Yes. Hmm.
So I
So-
think the plan is to like kind of peek into each cubby hole very carefully.
Yeah, we're gonna look around each corner because this is the perfect place for traps, like the statue heads and whatnot. So
Why don't you both make perception checks, and this will cover like looking throughout this area.
Okay.
sure. 17 plus
Oh, 22.
unnatural 20.
Oh, I'm sorry, 21. My bad.
So about the same for both of us.
Pretty good rolls there. You pick out a faint glyph or sigil right here in the middle. If I can put that there.
Okay.
So as you're looking, you notice this here. It would be easy to miss, but with your keen senses, you spot
We
it
both
there.
spot it. We're like, hold
Slightly
up.
translucent, thin, magic giant runes.
I think it's some sort of trap or magical rune, which generally that's going to be a trap, especially in the center of the hall.
Perhaps
Esper, what do we see in the cubbies, though?
These
Yes.
are empty, and
Okay.
maybe you all haven't crossed this yet.
Yeah, we haven't gotten to that.
Concerns.
Aygir, is the what's the thing that's the hexatile? Yeah.
Mhm.
Do we see anything on the sigil that seems like the hexatile might fit in or anything like that?
Well, now hold your Zenas. Give me a chance to look at it. And he'll walk up as close as he feels comfortable to it, carefully, treading lightly, in case anything explodes at him. And when he gets to, like, let's say 15 feet away, that's a decent number that, like, most very close range traps won't exceed. He'll look at it and look for a slot for a hexatile and just examine it more closely in general, and maybe take some time to see anything about it, or if there's anything in the alcove across from it. Or,
Very well.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Since you're getting into a more meticulous inspection, make an investigation check.
Alrighty. That's not bad. That's not great. That's a 14.
14. Okay. Well, you don't think there is any physical component. At least you don't notice any physical component to this. You believe it's strictly a magical effect.
All right. I am going to find the roundest pebble that I can, hold it in my hand, look over to the others and say, do you want I should maybe test this thing, see what we're dealing with?
I think that's a bad idea, not knowing what it does. It could explode and collapse this place. You don't know. It could summon the monster, which then comes after you.
Wait, I am going to run away.
Would it not just be better if I use detect magic on it to figure out what this thing is?
Yeah, I think just doing that sounds like a smarter idea.
All right, fine. Do it your way.
So Vapor will walk up, which is what, 15 feet before it?
Sure.
Let me double check.
Yep.
Detect magic's range is... Oh, no, we'll do 20
30.
feet. We'll do 20 feet so he's sure it's within.
Yeah.
And he'll cast detect magic.
All right. Is that your last spell slot?
No, it's not.
Okay. Clever guy. So you immediately get a what's the word I'm looking for here? A register of magic emanating. No big surprise there. You focus onto it, and you are picking up auras of two schools, one being enchantment, the other being necromancy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I would not want to step on this.
It
Enchanting
seems
and
to have
necromancy.
a moderate level of power. Nothing too strong, but something.
Does it Vapor? Does it seem like something that we can walk around? Is it safe to get a bit closer?
He's going to take out some chalk and draw exactly right around where he's feeling it.
Yeah, essentially you'll want to avoid
Stepping in the area.
that area there.
Yeah, that white outline could be your chalk circle, I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
In battle map terms, this
Walykos
is an area.
begins sidestepping in, and he's going to keep, going.
Yeah.
To check out the next
All right.
one.
Yeah, Adriel will do the same thing and just walk around it.
For efficiency's sake, Aygir will go for whichever one they don't go to at first, just to see what's in it.
Uh-huh. All right. So am I understanding that you two are sort of like hopping over there and then hopping this way? Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
All right. And then Aygir, you're doing that, but along the other side?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, and then Vapor, I assume you're going as well.
Yeah, he'll just go whichever way around it.
Sure.
So we peek around the corners. What do we see?
You actually, I don't think you're seeing much here. I believe you've actually defeated the monsters that came out of these areas. But let me double check.
That's what I figured.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we were able to get that trap though, because that could have been really bad if we landed on that.
I mean, we're the two highest dex characters in the party, so if it was a dex-based save.
It wouldn't have been as bad for us, but still, like, better to not take the chance. Better that we got the high perception.
Not a lot of enchantment spells that are dex saves.
True, probably Constitution.
Necromancy is not very often.
Necromancy is usually like con, right? Con or wisdom.
And wisdom sometimes. Con's a pretty big one. Enchantment's usually wisdom.
My wisdom.
And we, from past experiences, know Nick does not make very wise characters.
I do not. Adriel's not very wise. That's for sure.
I would have been fine.
So you feel confident that you found just this cleared area. There's quite a bit of structural damage in this side, and this lava pool there. But yeah, you remember monsters, clockwork things emerging from this area. So you're
All right,
they've already exited.
Is there a presumptive cause for the structural damage, or is it one of the many things that's kind of unexplained but also not really relevant?
Throughout this entire place, this, the collapses and sunken in floors, and lava is kind of rife and riddling it and tearing through it. It seems elemental in origin, plane of fire. Is what I mean by
Walykos
that. But
continues
obviously
moving.
something went haywire.
Yeah.
So,
I
so
think
it
that's
seems like the
also-
plan. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. I was just going to say, go ahead.
I think we're saying the same thing. Plan go to the top right too.
Yeah.
Okay.
And here's where it's going to get dicey because there's a wall of fire that might connect with that area up there with all the smoke.
What do you mean? It's perfectly safe. Like nothing could ever go wrong when we can't see into an area, right? Like
You can go
I'll
first then.
I'll just say one of the most annoying D&D experiences of my life was a labyrinth entirely filled with mist and a single Grimlock archer sniper who just led us through the entire labyrinth full of traps, and we couldn't corner him because we hadn't mapped it out, and he just knew the whole place like the back of his hand.
One of my worst experiences was getting shot by 50 arrows.
Oh yes, I remember that one. I was there for that one.
That is a story to be told forever.
Well, think of it this way: there probably won't be a Merilith in this darkness. Yes.
But there might be 50 arrows in the dark.
Well,
Again, this is why you're going
If
first.
you hear the sound of 50 Skeletor archers going,
at least I can fade
away.
into mist. So I'm going to go ahead and take the lead on this one. That's fair.
Sounds
very
good.
well.
I've already got my next character concept in mind.
Yeah, I'll be behind Walykos.
Are you approaching the smoke?
I
Yeah.
think so. Yeah, that's
Is that
I think that's
Yeah, why were we going
All right.
so. I think the plan before we do it, just so that we know what we're both doing. I think the plan is so you're gonna go in first, Walykos, and then I'm gonna
Yeah.
follow you. Like if
5 feet
needed.
behind?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. So this is about as much as you've seen. And you step out to get closer now. And you start getting closer to the smoke. It is, well, it's hot. It definitely has a smoldering quality to it. You can feel the heat as you get close. Not as hot as lava, of
Burning,
course,
yeah.
but it's a burning smoke cloud. It's thick, rolling, kind of like roiling within itself, billowing
Yeah.
smoke. Not
Okay.
expanding, just there.
Mhm. So I guess I'm gonna see what if I can see anything. Can I even see through it?
It's
all?
heavily obscured, so you cannot see through it.
Yeah. Why are we going? Like, I feel like we could feel along the walls, but this is just heading into death and uncertainty. Do we actually need to go this way? Aside from completionist?
Yeah, no, Adriel. Like, yeah, if we can't see through it at all, Adriel will sort of say, Walykos, this seems to be a bit
Yeah.
odd. I don't know. Perhaps we should come back to this later.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll find some way of circumventing the smoke in the future. I'm not in a rush to go, sticking my hand in a fire without knowing.
As long as we know nothing is going to come out of it.
Well, if something was going to come out of it, it's welcome to do so now. I wait for, a couple seconds. All right, let's go.
Nothing comes out of it. No.
Yeah.
So-
Aygir sticks behind for a second longer, making a hopefully not fool of himself, but because he has a want to do so, and is just going to look
Go
at the
into the
smoke and
smoke?
say, "Hey, you! I know you're in there. Whatever you are, you little piece of shit, get out of here and fight us like an honorable whatever you are." And then he
Hey,
waits,
You taunt the smoke, but the smoke does not respond.
and then he waits, and then satisfied that there's no response, he turns around and joins them.
Mhm.
Adriel will look at Walykos and say, sometimes I think he has a death wish.
Well, I think we're all a bit crazy.
Suicidal at times.
Crazy in some sense. But in any
This line
case,
of work is only for those who are chock full of true grit.
and
Perhaps we should explore the next level of this maze.
Well, that we might do, but it seems to me that we've fought quite a few things since we've come in here. We still have 2 days until we should leave for at least getting to the port to get to the island. Why don't we take a rest back the way we came and then proceed to the next level fully prepared?
A rest would be.
You should listen to your friend Adriel. He speaks true. There's no reason why we can't do this tomorrow morning.
A rest would be much appreciated. Yes,
Help me remember, guys. Last session, did you take a short rest? Or
we took a short rest. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I'm missing hit dice. So yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Correct.
All right. So is the plan to go back up to the Arcane Sanctum and take a long
Yep.
rest?
Yep.
I think so. Yeah, I think that's the plan.
All right. So there are some dangerous terrain hazards. There are still some unsolved mysteries, we could say, some unknowns.
Well, can we just
And
travel the
maybe
way
a
we?
long rest will refresh you well enough to where you can tackle those in some sort of fashion.
He's just summarizing, Adriel.
Sorry, I was like, oh no, do we have to make checks to get back? Oh
No.
no.
He was just summarizing what we still have yet to explore.
So you all tread back up what we'll call north to, through the long corridor, past the crack in the wall where you squeeze through to get in here, continuing on into the Arcane Sanctum, where you all are tired, drained, wounded to some degree, nothing serious, but enough, and low on magical resources. Do you all have anything in particular that you do during this rest, or is it just bandage your wounds, eat, drink, sleep, watch, stay on watch?
I have something, or Aygir has something in particular. He's going to go up to Adriel and say, "Now, I apologize in advance if I'm being extraneous here or any of what I'm about to say is unnecessary. I hope that it is. But you are going to tell me now, right, if or if not you plan to go and further attempt to desecrate the graves of those that have died here that I have put together by the work of my own hand and intend to remain undisturbed, because I, a historian of sorts, know that there is a difference between archaeology and grave robbing. I think it's about 150 years or so. I'm a little fuzzy on that, but I'm very clear that these graves are not to be disturbed anymore. Got it?
For 100 years, at least.
Yeah, Walykos over there, like 100 years now. Yeah, Adriel will sort of nod and say, I don't think that I will. I won't try and rob your friends.
Oh, you don't think? Yeah, you don't think very much, do you?
Well, it seems like you're in more of a need for a rest than myself, so perhaps I think a bit more than you.
Perhaps you better keep your thoughts to yourself and your hands.
I won't rob your friends' graves, although I still don't see the point in just leaving valuables to go to waste.
Think of it this way. It's a good way not to end up there yourself.
Is that a threat?
It is whatever you want it to be.
Fair enough. But no, I won't touch your friends. I don't see it valuable to have more conflict than we already have, Aygir.
On that we can agree.
All right, I'll sort of
picture Vapor drenched in sweat,
yeah.
wiping himself down, guzzling water from a water skin.
Oh, he's just glad to be out of the heat, and it's probably just like once he's done, it's just going to lay on the cold stone.
I have a question, Esper. Actually, in this, I don't know if I asked this already, but I just want to check. In this like top area, are there any short swords around? Probably not, but I'm just curious.
Not that I know of.
Okay.
Walykos settles down for some rest and just closes his eyes for the next however many hours.
Yep. Adriel will just, rest a bit as well. He might get a little bit of actual sleep, also like some power naps.
Right.
And
so-
one more thing Aygir will also do is just kind of spend a little time further puzzling over that coffer or hexagonal box made of stone that we found in the
Yes.
ruins of that obelisk.
Yes, the thing that we found. Yes.
Like, presumably we still need to take it to Connor Spindle or somebody that might have opportunities to open it, but if there's anything he could come up with, maybe.
Maybe you'll find the metal arms.
All right, so let's see. What have you attempted so far with this strong box?
Tried to force it with a weapon. I
Pry
want
it
to say.
open.
Yeah.
Was there any other type of?
We tried. So I tried using thieves tools. I tried smacking it with my dagger. I also tried smacking it with the hammer. And
Yeah,
I think that's all.
And we tried pouring a bit of acid on it.
Yeah,
That's
we
right.
did.
Okay, yes, you did. So it appears to be a box made of stone. You tried smacking with a hammer, prying it with a dagger, thieves' tool, unlocking or disabling it, and dripping acid onto it. And it was unfazed by all of that. I don't know if your thieves' tool check was particularly high, though.
I don't remember what it was. I think it was like,
Really high.
I want to say it was like around 13 or 14,
Yeah.
but I don't remember. Yeah.
Well, if there's time and it can be done with minimal physical exertion so as to not disrupt the rest, Aygir might tinker around with his tinker's tools and his smith's tools and his thieves' tools and see if some combination thereof might produce a little bit more finesse-oriented approach.
Yeah,
than
actually-
hitting it with a hammer.
Yeah, if Aygir is doing the tinker's tool, Adriel would definitely offer his help if he desires it, because Adriel can at least maybe help with the thieves' tools aspect of it. Like maybe Adriel can do something with the thieves' tools while Aygir is doing the tinkering stuff.
You look at it there. It seems that the thieves' tools would be a potential solution. The tinker tool, nothing immediately jumps out at you, as it's actually a relatively plain stone box with a basic lid, and you don't even see a hinge on it. You see nothing that has mechanical bits at all.
Right, it won't be opened by like a tin punch.
Yeah. Okay, so you said the thieves' tools does seem like something that may actually be useful.
It seems possible. Yeah.
Okay, I guess when I see Aygir sort of messing with it a bit after I've rested a bit, probably I guess Adriel would walk over to Aygir and say, "Aygir, do you think you could help me out a bit with this? I think that I could maybe give it another go."
Do you think I could help you? Haven't had enough of me yet? Now, sit down over there. Use this one. Yes, see? Yes, the sharp one. Yes. What I'm going to do is try this. I need you to keep your hand on the torsion winch over there and make sure the pressure does not stop. Because if it does, we will snap the little tip off this thing and it will be useless to anyone.
Oh, trust me, Aygir. I think I've done a lot more robbing in my day than you.
This isn't about robbing. This is about precision and accuracy.
Quite good at that as well.
That I will believe when I see it.
I'll sort of like pull out sort of my own tools as well to like come in and help. Like I won't take yours.
So why don't we first start with Adriel, the helper, making a dexterity thieves tools check.
Okay, so all right. Are you proficient in thieves' tools, Aygir? Just like out of game question.
I am, yeah. I'm proficient with because artificers are like this. With
I got a natural 20.
excellent.
So thieves' tools would be my proficiency. I don't think it's dex, right? So just proficiency.
Dexterity.
So, oh,
Yes,
dex
it was.
and proficiency. Okay, so that would be 26 then altogether.
26. Wow.
So basically, when you're like telling me like I'll see it when I believe it how precise you are, and I'm like perfect with like everything I'm doing.
All right. So
Is this good enough for you, Aygir?
You natural 20'd it. So why don't I'll have Aygir roll with advantage, and then we'll just use the better of your two results as
All right.
what we apply to this.
Probably still his if this is dexterity oriented because I'm actually not that great at that. not terrible, but not as good. It wouldn't be sleight of hand, right?
No, it would just be proficiency plus your dex if you're proficient.
Well,
with
that's what I mean.
D12.
It's the same exact check.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
I'm asking, is it the same exact check?
Yeah, dexterity, thieves' tools
All right.
with advantage.
Sure. Well, I definitely needed that. That's going to end up being not absolutely terrible. It's a 14.
All right, so let's stick with Adriel's check there. You're trying to tell him to do something right, otherwise you're gonna like break the tip off of your thing, and you're like almost breaking your own tool. Actually,
Yeah. As I'm doing it, I'm seeing
sort of like the moment where you're like trying to keep up Adriel, and he.
Yeah, as I see Aygir like almost messing up, I'm gonna be like, Aygir, can you just not for a second?
No. If I stop that, then the whole thing is going to go over set back to its position. You're doing very well, but just give it a moment.
Adriel,
for just a moment.
Adriel just like gives out this like long sigh, like, and like shakes his head a little bit as he like keeps going a bit more.
Awesome. So you get it, actually, Adriel,
Cool.
without breaking your tools or causing any other harm. And there's a sound like that of pressure being released, which maybe strikes you both. Maybe it was an unexpected effect. Something happened there that you didn't see that coming with the stone box. Inside, you find a rolled up piece of, it's not really parchment, it's a finer quality material, a sort of exquisite vellum or masterwork vellum. It's rolled up, and it has a silken, it's not a sash, a silken tie that has it closed shut.
Ribbon?
Well, it is, but it's knotted. It has intricate knotwork, like in a giant's knotwork, or even dwarven knotwork.
I guess like once it opens up, like Adriel will be like, "Oh, I think I got it." Click, and then when that all happens, I guess I'll like carefully reach in and sort of pick it up and.
Don't touch it! Don't touch it! Do you know how old that might be?
Don't worry. I've got.
Have you ever handled a leaf that has fallen from a tree and sat there for even a few weeks to dry out?
As he said this, I'm picking it up.
Use the little tweezers. Come on, seriously, borrow mine if you have to. Just don't touch it with your hands. It might be magic too.
Fine. I'll take his tweezers and I'll like undo the ribbon inside there, very carefully. Like I'll use very steady hands and yeah.
Vapor, how long does your detect magic last for?
Should be. It's not that long, unfortunately.
Is it 1 hour though?
Might be. Where is it? I just lost because I thought there is
concentration 1 hour.
10 minutes.
Okay. I think this is probably more than 10 minutes since you last.
I feel like that would be...
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Though if Vapor's close enough to see this, he's going to walk over and see what they're doing.
They've got this stone box opened. The lid came off of it, and there's no hinge. There's no there's not really a keyhole to it, though there is some manner of detail work on it. So it's got something, some manner of opening it. So they've gotten it open with these set of tools, and yeah, there's this masterwork vellum rollage with a knotted tie on it.
So what happens when I unknot the ribbon?
All right, you unknot it, and the thing unrolls, and there is a painting on it. Actually, there is a painting that shows the island that you're on, or we should say the sub-island of what nowadays would be like Barnacle Isle, which is part of the larger Eyaberg. It's got giant runes on it, labeling parts of the map, but it's not really a map. It's more like a landscape painting that is at this 3/4 view angle showing your island, and then there's this like little strait of water, and then the part of the mainland of the larger island.
So it's not like a map, it's like an actual like artistic kind of painting, like a landscape.
It's landscape like. Not to get like too real world to ruin the fantasy, but have you ever seen those old Japanese watercolor or ink and water paintings that have like mountains coming out of or rock formations coming out of like the misty coastline?
Is it like those a woodblock print?
Similar.
I know exactly what Esper's.
I'm thinking more of the brushwork ones. It has that kind of look to it, and then there are these giant runes on it that give names to the locations. And something interesting, noteworthy as you are studying this, is the paint on it shifts slightly and subtly, as though the mist is like mist might be in real world, with a slight cloudy effervescence. And even every once in a while you see maybe the image of a large avian creature, like its wings like slowly move. It's not, I wouldn't call it animated, but it has this slowly floating quality. And even the textures of the paint and the stroke work, will just subtly shift.
That's quite the interesting painting there.
Yes, it will require a lot of further study, I should think.
Do you think that it's not brittle enough for us to take it out? It would be much easier to look at.
I should hope that if it is magic, it should be relatively sturdy, but I suppose that remains to be seen.
It looks in great condition.
Is that an ask of me to make sure to see if it does have magic on it?
Well,
because that was a very roundabout way of asking.
Oh,
I think
fine,
Mr.
Cluntman. Yes, is it magic? I mean, I think it is. Look how it moves. But is it magic, Mr. Magic Man? Tell me. Oh, great, wise, mighty one.
As Aygir is like saying that, Adriel will like very carefully like go to lift it out of the box.
As Adriel's lifting and Vapor is casting Detect Magic, and as he's doing it, this is why you should be more nicer to me.
Oh, I've tried that. It's met with the same attitude. Always with the I'm mad. Oh, today I'm mad.
Can you, as I'm picking it, can you both just shut up for a second? I'm trying not to be too rough with this. I need to concentrate. Unless you want me, unless you'd like me to break or accidentally mess up a very, old and historical painting idea.
All right there, Mr. Surgical Hands. Be careful.
Vapor, you're picking up some different things here. The vellum, the scrollage, it has conjuration magic in it, imbued in it, and it's a fairly powerful aura that you're picking up on it. The box, the stone box as well, has both abjuration and illusion imbued into it, both at a moderate level aura.
Did anything happen when I went to pick it up, like as I'm touching it or anything like that?
No, nothing happens, nothing triggers, so to say.
Okay.
Like, out of character thinking what in character Aygir might be thinking, that's probably the locking mechanism itself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those were probably the
Vapor,
words
you make
keeping
an
it closed.
Arcana check.
Vapor will do an Arcana check to kind of try to figure this out.
How big is this painting, by the way? Like size wise?
Size, so we'll say it's about a little more than a foot wide, good 20 inches long, maybe almost.
You're cutting out a little bit. Sorry.
Oh,
yeah, I think you're a little too far from the mic.
Yeah, you're a little too far. You're
sorry
good.
about that.
You're good now, though.
It's a little more than a foot wide and almost 2 feet long.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's
Am I
decent size.
using my charisma, or am I using just a straight Arcana check?
Intelligence Arcana, yeah.
Okay.
Knowledge of magic.
All right. Then that's going to be a 13.
13. Okay. You're not completely sure. You've picked up the auras, and so that's maybe some good information for you, but details and specifics elude you.
Now, when I like lift it up and I'm like I like move it around a bit, like does anything on it shift or change, or is it sort of just doing the same kind of motion that it was doing when we first saw it?
Your movements and what you do don't seem to affect it.
Okay.
Subtle shifting, billowing effects on it continue of their own accord.
All right, as I'm holding, I'll say, Aygir, where do you want me to put this? I think that you can probably study it much better than I can.
Well, set it down right over there where it's not like to get too dusty, and I'll look at it for now, and then we'll roll it up and maybe put it back in the box for now.
All right. I'll put it where Aygir directs.
Just to the least dusty corner of the room.
Yeah. I'll put it over there. Yeah. Unless was there a workshop table?
Oh, well, okay, that's true. I guess we could actually take it to
maybe put
the
it on
workshop.
the
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Is your intention that you're securing it somewhere?
Yeah, like putting it somewhere like where Aygir can like study it a bit better.
Are you putting the painting back inside the box? And
so I think the idea would be that for now, so we can actually look at it and see if we can tell anything in the time we have left during the rest, we would look at it on one of the tables in the workshop.
Yeah.
And then we would roll it back up, put it back in the box, and store it the way we have been. Like I think hidden before.
Yeah, I think that's the plan. So I'll put it on like a.
Aygir make an Arcana check as well, then, since you're taking some time to study it during the rest.
Could I also help with it maybe a little bit, or at least give Aygir help? Like, could I assist in some way? Like, I'm not good at Arcana, but if I can assist him in a way
is that something that you think your character would know about?
Yeah, that's a good point. My character probably wouldn't. That's fair.
Okay.
All right, then I got a 17.
17. Aygir, you are more of a studying type sort, and you have some suspicions about the box. The painting still is a mystery to you, other than Vapor's told you there's some kind of conjuration magic imbued into it that he says it seems like a pretty powerful aura. The box, though, you've deduced a couple of things about the box. First of all, it's got this illusion magic on it. You are convinced that it's not actually made of stone. The stone, that seems to be an illusion. The illusion, in fact, is probably making this thing read like it's just a stone box. The abjuration magic has to do with fortifying it in such that it can't readily be damaged or broken into. It's possible. It's fortified and it seals shut. So short of actually knowing what the password is, as soon as you shut that lid, it's going to seal up again, and it's going to again take a check that you may succeed or fail to some sort of detriment.
Well, maybe we should not put this back in the box just yet. Maybe we should hide it with the box, but if we have to study it again, I should hate to think we should have to do the same thing to open it every time.
Yeah, that is, if you intend on opening and closing the thing, really knowing the password is the way to go. But thus far, between you and Vapor, you haven't been able to deduce that.
Right, we need some sort of an actual clue to it. To what it is. I'm assuming they didn't make the password or anything like that.
No, it's open up in giant.
Okay. Yes, there you go.
I should have made it that, actually. Oh, well. Okay, so you've secured the box and the magic painting near each other, but not the painting outside the box. And why don't we get along with this long rest and then get back to whatever you
Yeah.
all are doing in the dungeon?
Sounds
Sound like
good.
a plan? Okay, so you all do what you do. You rest and take care of yourselves and sleep in shifts. There are no disturbances through the night down here in the ruins beneath the crumble. And you all can you can spend hit dice. You can also regain 2 hit dice and spell slots and anything else that comes back for the long rest. And just to let everyone know who's watching these adventures, I do have a few house rules in place. One house rule is that you do not get a refill of your hit points on a long rest. You have to spend hit dice to do that, to have the natural healing. Or magic healing, of course, as well.
All right, so I have got all my spell slots back, which is great.
2 second levels and 3 first levels?
4
4
first levels.
Okay, nice. That would make sense. Yeah, level... Wait. Is it 4 already?
So I forgot. How many hit dice do we get back again? For the we get half our level back, right?
Yeah, so it's
Rounded up.
It's half level rounded up. Usually everything in D&D is rounded down, but this one specifically says round up.
Okay, that's what I just wanted to
It
check.
makes sense because at level 1,
You would get 0 back if you
0 back if you rounded down. So
Yeah. Okay,
So-
yeah, I'm back at all my hit dice, which is nice.
Same here. So
All right, back to the dungeon.
Walykos, wakes up. He's like, anything interesting happen? Nope. All right, let's go.
They opened up the box.
Oh, was anything good in it?
A painting that I've yet to decipher its magic.
Is it still outside the box?
Vapor points to where they put it.
Can I take a look at it, Esper?
Walykos, you see the painting, and I assume you heard the description that I gave. So
Yeah,
yeah, more
Yeah.
or less.
more or less.
Okay. So you're looking at the painting. It
mhm.
has a semi-watercolor look to it in the paint. If you look at it, slowly will shift. It's not animated. It just has this wafting, wavering.
Is there any trick to looking at it? You know how like the magic eye, like you do the thing and it 3-dimensional pops out an image? Is there any like tricky things hidden in the image?
Make an investigation check.
Sure, why not? Hey, look, there's a little guy surfing in the waves. Investigation. I got a 12.
You don't see anything like that.
Okay. Well, I'm sure it's just a useful painting if you know the magic keyword, so I'm not gonna mess with it for now. Let's continue on.
Let's go back. So you all have spent your hit dice and regained your spell slots.
Yep.
And
Down.
Where are you most interested in examining?
Downstairs.
Down the stairs. Okay.
And we're gonna keep the same formation, me and
Adriel,
Yeah.
and Walykos, we've been friends for so long, and
I just had a moment where I'm waking up and I'm just like, yeah, that's right.
At least you didn't call them the wrong character's name.
Yeah,
All right.
Indeed.
So the two of you go scouting slowly down the stairs. And they are giant size stairs. Though, actually, there's an interesting effect on this one. There are the giant size stairs that is almost like climbing to you all. But to the side, there are some smaller stairs that would have served for the dwarf, right? The
Servants.
dwarven servants
Mhm.
Yeah.
to utilize. So
Okay, so that's convenient.
yeah.
See, the giants weren't bad. They made stairs for their slaves. You know? They,
Not in all their places. Not all of them are handicapped accessible.
Yeah, the broken tower doesn't have any of those.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it's more likely the slaves had to carve their own stairs, including the master's stairs as well.
but at least they let the slaves do that, right? I mean,
I mean, yeah. Now that I think about it, what a lazy slave to not even do that in a broken tower. Like, what's his name? I'm blanking on the guy in the tower.
oh no,
Esper.
the dwarf.
Yeah,
Dwarf
yeah,
in the
but
tower, right?
his dwarf servant is like, you've been there for 100 years. Why haven't you carved your stairs yet?
Walykos and Adriel. The stairs go down for not a great descent, but it's definitely to the next lower level.
Yep.
And you find yourself in an enclosed chamber. It's sort of octagonal in shape. It's not a perfectly symmetrical shape, but there aren't like hallways or doors in the wall. Rather, what there is at the far end of this chamber is a really, really big alcove. And inside this big alcove, which also has this sort of rounded shape to it, the floor tiles are of a different color, a different aspect than the rest of the floor. And there's even a seam, right? So if you look into this alcove, the floor of it has a seam, has like these two lips that separate the different types of flooring. And then on the panels or faces of the wall inside this alcove, there are these receptacles. It sort of reminds you of where Aygir would put the hexatile in, but it's not exactly the same. It has a deeper slot or deeper hexagonal shaped hole that maybe something goes into that.
So just to
key,
clarify,
in a loose sense of the word key.
so just to clarify, so it's like we have like the normal floor, and then in the center of that floor we have like different tiles,
No.
and then there's like, oh, okay, I misunderstood. Yeah.
I'm correct me if I'm wrong, Esper, but we came down some steps. There's a room, and then there's an alcove kind of at the back of the room, and there's a separation between the room that we're entering and that alcove where the tiles on the floor change to be different colors. So in this alcove, there's like a color-coded floor, and there are these almost like rods, it sounds like hexagonal rods.
Yeah.
That makes. Oh, I get it.
Room.
I get it.
And it's a really
That's
big,
what I saw in
it's
my
just
head.
one
Yeah.
chamber, but it's like giant size.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, that makes a lot.
view.
Yeah, that's
And
good.
then
I
at
see
the
it.
far end, there's a recessed area, and still this
Mhm.
is it's big like this.
Giant size.
Yeah, this here. Maybe I'll put
Yeah.
like the size of your character.
Oh no,
I get.
understand.
I understand now. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
Like you are like that.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be like the size of your character.
Purple is a
How
great
many-
color choice. It really sells the idea of it being magic.
Thank you.
Esper, how many hexagonal wall slots are there? Is each one like its own wall face? Like, if you know what I'm saying, like each wall has just one on it, and then
Yes.
like angles
Yes,
slightly.
there are 6 of them total.
So
and
hexagon.
One per facet or wall
Mhm.
face, but it's clearly all part of the same chamber. And
Yeah,
are you getting pretty close to it to like kind of look in there?
yeah, I'd say we'd probably go to the
edge,
outside.
right?
Yeah, we don't step on the colored panels because that to me just sounds like traps or
Yeah,
like
I
a
think
puzzle.
Yeah, I think we can definitely look inside there without stepping inside.
Aygir will really do everything but step on them. He'll
Also-
lean his head in if he has to.
I just want to say, is there any sort of thing else in the main chamber that you haven't described to us yet that's of import?
There are like carven reliefs on the wall. A lot of it's knotwork and patternings and decorum. Nothing that's like a painting or a fresco or anything. There's no devices, objects, creatures. The room, the chamber itself doesn't bear too much in the way of damage. It seems somewhat removed from where there's this rampant elemental fire tearing through the place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Looking in, the ceiling of this, we'll call it the alcove, the ceiling of the alcove matches the floor of it, and as well has that, differentiated color, pattern, texture, and has like this seal lip thing that, separates it from the larger chamber's ceiling.
Okay. So yeah, if we don't see anything in the initial chamber before we get to the alcove, I say let's go up to the alcove without crossing over.
Yeah, that's where you're at.
So,
Would
Is
it be
there-
helpful if I cast Detect Magic to see if there's something else here?
go blind if you want. Yeah, sure.
All right. I'll spend a spell slot to cast Detect Magic.
Once again, you reach out with arcane senses, Vapor, and most certainly there is magic within the whole of this alcove, and maybe you even see it a little bit differently. Like you've got the greater chamber, and then there's just this outlined, almost kind of canister-shaped alcove with the opening, right, that you can see.
Mhm.
And just like tracing it is this faint, kind of a light aura of a transmutation.
Okay. Transmutation.
Is it all one aura, or it's like
Yeah,
each
yeah.
tile have its own aura? No, okay.
It's all together.
Okay. Well, can you tell us what it does?
Make an Arcana check, Vapor.
Fortunately, that's a 9. I don't think he's going to know.
Did you have advantage
changes
or inspiration?
somehow.
I don't think I have Inspiration, do I? Nope, I don't.
Okay.
Who does have the inspiration? Aygir.
That's me from last time. Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
So on the subject of Aygir, he will look in and attempt to see if he can get any meaning out of these symbols. He doesn't actually speak giant, but he's been in enough old giant ruins to hopefully recognize a couple of their runes, and just going to try and see, if he recognizes any of the symbols, and also maybe like how deep the holes are, if they're from more than just a hexatile.
Gotcha. So are you going in this alcove?
Esper's like, come on, just step in. I'm ready to go.
Not yet. But what he will do while looking at them is he will actually toss a little pebble onto the floor just to see if it disintegrates or burns or explodes or something.
Nothing happens. No, lasers don't shoot out of the holes.
Okay. Yeah, he'll walk in and he'll examine each one individually, taking enough time.
He said he's walking in.
Okay, he dies.
You walk in,
All
and nothing happens.
right.
And you go and you look at these, panelings, and there are a few giant runes that are etched in, and there are these kind of hexagonal shaped sockets or holes or slots, whatever we want to call them, depressions. Make a Arcana check. Yeah, knowledge Arcana.
All right, that's the best thing I've rolled so far. That is a 21. It's actually, I think, the only thing that's not a 14 I've rolled so far.
Okay. There you figure this out, and it's actually not too difficult for you to figure it out. This is a lift, and you'll need to insert what you would translate as a key, and I don't mean like a metal like with teeth on it, but it's going to be some kind of probably prism or shard or hexagonal shaped thing that you would put it in one of these slots. There's a control panel with these giant runes that have seal or shut. So something's going to like shut and seal off the lift. And there's down and there's up. And it's as simple as that.
So there's 6 of them. There
are 6 of them. There needs to be one key or one shard per person in order to use this. So if you had one person could be inside activating using the lift.
Interesting.
Yeah. If you just had one and you have more than one person in here, it's not going to work. It won't seal.
Okay, so it
won't
can
go up or
take
down.
It can take up to 6 people, and there are 4 options, which are open, shut, down, and up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Interesting.
So, just curious, we can see the ceiling. Is that like the ceiling of the elevator?
Yep.
Or is that the ceiling? Okay, so
Yes.
we're not actually seeing up to the next levels where it goes.
Right.
Okay.
No, like he said, it's the same as the floor.
Yeah.
So
just
it's
terrifying.
Aygir, what have you discovered in there? Everything all right?
Well,
Yeah.
there is some sort of magical lift, a transport that goes up and down, and we need keys. We need, and he pulls out the hex tile. We need something like this, but well, not this exactly. Just something similar.
Do you think that the mechanical men may have these keys on them somewhere?
That I don't know.
I would suggest searching the
Did
giant
you see
bodies.
anything hexagonal? You know,
Did,
about maybe yay long.
Did we search the giant bodies?
The ones in here, I don't think we paid that close of attention
No,
to.
we haven't yet. Perhaps we should search those.
Let's go back and search the corpses. Perhaps they have the keys. That will
It
take
stands
us.
to reason, doesn't it? Yes.
As long as the corpses have been dead for over 100 years, of course.
I mean, it's been what 153.
It's been reasonable enough time.
Yeah, I know. Adriel's just like giving that quip to Aygir.
Oh yeah.
Well, you know, they're also not entombed. It's not really a grave.
Closest giant, either going to be the one to the north or the one, that one right there.
Yeah.
There are 3 giants. You search them all and find nothing that seems to line up with the lift slots.
All right.
Now that being said, do we find
Anything?
anything?
Nothing elongated.
Can we also search the mechanical monsters that we fought?
Neither they bear any objects that seem to have anything to do with that lift. There is a small detail that you probably notice it as you're going or coming back from this giant skeleton node, that there are these scorched footprints in the ground here that seem to go all the way to the lava pool and then this way, but they're hard to follow as they have some rubble and collapse on top.
So the lava pool, and then which way?
Well, that's what I'm talking about. They're a
Okay.
little hard to follow as there's a lot of collapse and rubble.
Are they
I mean,
recent?
He already described these to us. This was
Right.
something that we saw earlier. I don't know what to do with that information, unfortunately, Esper. Because
I'll just go ahead and pay as close attention as I can and take an actual 10-minute or so block to look at them and see if I can just by like retracing them. Well, first of all, what kind of footprints are they? Are they giant footprints?
Sized.
Okay, so if it's a giant walking this way,
burned footprint, blackened scorches.
right? Some kind of elemental fire or something was going on, as we know. And by retracing them as much as my stubby little non-giant legs can, do I end up standing and like somebody in a Nicolas Cage movie magically looking at the answer to all of our problems on the far wall?
Well, let's take us one step at a time. You do what you can to look at them or follow them. It's hard to follow, but you might be able to trace them or pick them out. I could see either investigation or survival functioning here. If you have another idea, I'm up for that as well.
Investigation was what I was thinking.
Okay.
It's the one I'm best at of
All right,
those.
so you go searching and meticulously combing over the area.
Oh, all right. That is another 21. I rolled 18 on the die twice in a row.
The floor is dirty, grimy, and there's just kind of burn marks and smoky soot everywhere. It's broken, and there's collapses and parts of walls that have just been sort of burnt and melted through. But these are giant footprints, and you follow them for some time, and you pick them out, leading you to here. Not anyone going in the lava, of course. But you've gotten this far, and you'll need to make a second check to continue following them.
Could I assist Aygir in this second check, perhaps?
Aygir, are you up for that?
Well, you think you can look and see things that the normal man cannot? I'm pulling your leg. Just keep your eyes out for these footprints.
Of course, yeah. It seems like it's leading us somewhere that may be useful.
Indeed, I think one of the giant corpses is over this way, but I know not if it is that one, although I have a sinking suspicion about where we're headed. But let's find out, shall we?
Indeed.
All right, so why don't we have Adriel roll the assist check first, the help.
And it is investigation?
Yep.
Okay. 14.
That's good enough. Advantage to Aygir.
All right. Pretty good at these, but advantage always. And that would have definitely helped. The lower die is a 1. That's a 19.
Beautiful. That's a success.
I imagine like Adriel and like Aygir's like looking around, and Adriel just sort of like notices something. Like it's like, do you think that's? And then Aygir's just like, oh yes, of course. I can't believe I missed that. Something like that. I don't know.
Aygir and Adriel, you track the burnt footsteps from here to here, through here, all the way up to this area, right in here. And you find under a bunch of collapse and rubble a skeletal hand of a giant that is, I don't know if pointing is the right word, seems to have been reaching for or touching part of the wall. And you see there is a wall stone that has a little chip of rock next to it that looks like you can depress it.
I pull out my wand of secrets and shake it and say, fancy that, didn't even need this. Shove it back in a bag and, sorry, you said it's like a one you can press or one you can pull loose?
Yep.
Okay, he will press on that.
Okay, so you're poking it with the wand of secrets? Is that what are you activating the wand of secrets?
Yeah, I mean, I guess if there's something else to find, it'll...
Okay. The wand of secrets, sure. Specifically, what does it do? What's the specific effect?
It has, well, it's really more like a divining rod. It points towards... it contains 3 charges. While holding it, you can expend one of its charges. If a secret door or a trap is within 30 feet of you, the wand pulses and points at the one nearest to you. And
okay.
It retained. Oh wait, so it retained a D3 this dawn. So 3. It's
nice.
Fully charged again.
All right, so you point at your wand and you activate it, and indeed it points at the stone there, and you feel a slight tug or pull in that direction, There's clearly something within the wall.
He'll go ahead and depress the pressy stone.
When you do that, the larger stone in the wall slides aside, and it's not actually a room, but it is a good-sized compartment.
I mean, if it's a little cubby hole for a giant, it's probably the size of a small closet to one of us.
Inside, there are two objects of note. One is a shard of obsidian, about yay long and hexagonal in shape. The other is also crystalline, though it is neither hexagonal nor elongated. Rather, it is a sort of fist-shaped cluster of crystals that have been carven in a very precise pattern.
Precisely what type of pattern?
Yep. Oh, it almost reminds you of a hive, like a beehive type shape. But it has, vertices and triangular angles to it. The pattern repeats quite specifically. It's very like geometrically precise. In fact, you are an archaeologist. You are certain that dwarven hands crafted this. This is not giants' work, even though giants obviously were the overlords here.
It's just a dwarven make.
I'm imagining you're holding it up, and you can even see what maybe at first you thought was just the gleam on the surface of the gem, but no, actually there are 3 little points of light gleaming faintly from, not faintly, but just small points of light gleaming from inside this translucent gem.
Well, that looks quite valuable.
Vapor, are you still able to look at things and see if they are magic?
The one I just last cast has gone out, but I can recast it if possible.
I certainly wouldn't complain. You think this might be something that might register on your scale? I suspect it is.
It most definitely seems to be of some sort, especially if they hit it. And he will cast Detect Magic again.
Magic once again.
Don't forget your wild magic this time.
I've been rolling them.
Oh, you haven't? Oh, okay.
Yeah, unless it's a 1, I'm not going to say anything. Because there's nothing that's going to happen then.
All right. The obsidian shard has that transmutation aura that matches up with the lift. The fist-sized gem cluster, it has necromancy and oh my goodness.
As if it's enchanted, then we know it links to the that other one.
Necromancy and transmutation. There's something else that happens though as you are doing the detect magic. Those 3 little gleaming pinpricks of light within it, they seem to beam out into you, and there is a sound like 3 dwarven voices in wailing at you, and it washes through you. It reverberates as though through a void.
Is this just Vapor hearing this, or do we all hear this?
Yeah, it's just
Okay, just Vapor.
We'll say you psychically or through your divination pick up on that. It seems to you that there are actually 3 dwarven souls trapped inside this gem.
I was about to say that. And looks at it and goes, well, I would not want to use that to craft it. Why had it been used to make it?
What do you mean by this exactly?
When I cast my spell to detect the magic in it, something responded in almost an echoing source of, I would best describe as dwarves in pain,
Do you,
trapped
hap-
within them.
do you happen to know what this this gemstone does? It could be useful.
Well,
I think you have a sneaking suspicion that this is the core gem for one of those clockwork constructs.
Okay.
So Adriel asked that though. Like, do you know?
I take it to my forge in Whiterun, and I enchant an epic sword out of it. I think this is, well, I do believe this is what they've been using to power those things. You know, the clockwork dragons and spiders and whatnot. I think they have been souls this whole time.
Perhaps we can use this to power one for our own use.
Or
I
perhaps
would
you can
not.
keep your grubby mitts off of it, and we can study it further and figure out if there's a way to release the souls trapped within. Maybe free them. You know, maybe that grant us a boon. Ghosts are supposed to be something.
It seems as though perhaps if we can release them, but I see having a clockwork dragon or something of that nature on our side seems a bit more useful than 3 dead dwarves.
well, the problem I see is these clockwork constructs are very brittle from their years here. But if we release the souls and are somehow to figure out a way to retrap souls into it, perhaps we can use it to help Walykos take down this one person that taught him.
Now, see, that has some sense to it. We, the 4 of us, were able to destroy the clockworks down here. They can't be that helpful. If we were to use it for that purpose, we should at least wait till we find something with a bit more oomph. Don't you think?
Oh, of course, yes.
Hold on to it for now. There's no need to do anything with it this moment.
So I missed part of it. I understand we got the gem, that's that, and then what was the other thing with the transmutation?
It's an obsidian hexagonal prism
It's the key
rod.
to the elevator.
It's one
Okay,
of the keys.
and then he's going to point to that one. This one, though,
So it's
I
a lift
believe.
key for one person use a lift.
Yeah, I believe it's one of the lifts keys.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that as well. I think you are onto something. But if I recall correctly, I think it only works once for one person or per.
You need one rod
people
per
It's single
person.
use, but it does just work.
Basically,
Yeah.
we're gonna
It's-
need 4. We're gonna need 4 rods if we all want to go.
Yes, exactly.
Or alternatively, we need 2 rods. So one person rides with another, then gets off. The other person takes a rod back
Yeah,
up.
Right,
exactly.
And
the
then we
ticket
go
stub
back and
trick.
So
Yeah.
we just need 2 rods, yeah.
At minimum, we do need 2, unless
Yeah.
the magic on the elevator counts lesser beings as not as a giant.
Oh, that's true. That's a good point, actually.
Did I get any indication of that, or I mean, out of character, that seems like a cool idea.
I
But
think it should work equally well for a humanoid as it would a giant.
okay, so
We need 2. We need at least 2.
sadly, I think
The
we need
reason I
more.
brought it up is because in other out of character stuff, you see it in other societies where magic works for certain people but doesn't work for others.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have been surprised if it worked in here.
So this one rod that we found was hidden away. We haven't found any other rods. There's the walls of fire, which might be hiding more areas with rods.
That stands to reason. We haven't gone looking terribly hard for these, though.
There's also the mist that we have not explored yet as well.
There
Yeah,
is
the-
also
I
that.
would not, as of now, I have no way to spell on those walls of fire. I think our best bet is to check that wall of smoke. As much as I hate going into a haunted, steamy room, that might be our best bet to you find another one of these rods.
Yeah, I think if nothing else, we've already explored downstairs, and aside from sending one person off by themselves, it's not going to work. Which,
Yeah, we need at least 2 rods. Yeah.
at least 2. So let's go explore the mists. And do we have rope?
I actually do have rope, yeah.
Tie around each waist, and let's
Yep.
stick together so we don't get
Yep, I've got
grabbed in the mist.
Yeah, I've got 70 foot of the silk rope, so I'll pull it out and tie
Give
it.
us a 10-foot lead between each.
Yep.
And that way we can shorten it up if we want to stay closer, but
Yeah. So we've got about 10 feet of lead between each of us, and we're all tied together.
yeah,
Yep.
this way if there's a pit trap or something and one of us falls, the others catch them. If there's something that grabs one and tries to run with him, it'll get stopped because the rest of us.
So you're all tethered to each other, and there's a 10-foot gap between each person.
Yes.
That's ideal. But we can stay closer. Ideally,
So we can stay within 5 feet if we want to, but we can also move within 10 feet.
There's 10 feet of slack
Yeah.
between each person. Yeah.
Mhm. All right.
In worst case, like if needed to get away, we can always untie ourselves. So
let me take a 10-foot lead in front of others because I can always
Vapor is also keeping his ability to cast levitation on himself ready, so if he feels the rope getting tugged, he's going to cast it on himself.
Okay.
is levitate is that a cantrip or a first level spell?
It's an ability that he's able to do on his own.
It's a spell
oh,
slot.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
But it won't count as a spell slot because it's
an
racial.
innate spell for
It's-
his.
It's not a cantrip. Is what I'm
Mhm.
saying. So, anyways, I enter the mists, Esper.
Okay, so you enter, which actually I would not call it mist. I would more
Smoke.
call it smoldering thick smoke.
Gotcha.
And
I hold my breath as
all
best
right,
I can.
you take a deep breath and you brace yourself
Mhm.
and you step into it, and it is very hot. And immediately you feel yourself burning up in there. Make a Constitution saving throw, Walykos.
16.
That's pretty good.
It's a success for half damage. You take from 9, it goes down to 4 fire damage.
I go back out of the smoke. Yeah, that's not gonna work, guys. It's hot enough in there that it actually was burning my skin while I was in there. So
Then there would be no way for me to go in.
yeah, you would very quickly die.
Yes, it seems like there's nothing in there for us, at least until we get rid
Well,
of
I mean,
fire.
if we can get rid of the smoke, then we can figure it out. But I would rather rush a wall of fire and take it once than
Yeah.
continuously
Right.
fumble along a wall
Of course.
while getting
Right.
burned.
It's also too big for one casting of fairy fire to illuminate every single object in the whole thing.
Yeah.
That
We
was
wouldn't
going to
even
be my
able to
idea.
see through it.
I think
I don't know if fairy
that-
fire would work because
Oh, we wouldn't be able to see like
it's a
things
thick
within the.
cloud of smoke. It's not darkness.
I think that perhaps we should just investigate this area more and try and find another one of these prisms.
Yeah, I think that without magic to dispel this, we're gonna leave this alone.
Yeah.
All right. So
Well, so here's a question. So the little trap thing on the floor had auras of transmutation and necromancy.
Mhm.
when we bring
Enchantment
the-
and necromancy.
Oh,
mhm.
okay. I see. Never mind. I was gonna say when we brought the soul crystal close to that, would anything happen? But maybe not.
I have an idea that I'd like to try. Esper, can we go back to the southern wall of fire?
Oh, are you gonna try and go through?
Well, no. So walls of fire are directional. This side doesn't have the wall of fire
Right.
on it. I would like to search the walls and see if maybe there's either a secret or a way to deactivate the wall of fire.
Very well.
Usually, you would think there's a control on each side,
Right.
of a door, kind of.
Or
and
on
this
one
is like
side
a
if it's
door.
meant to keep stuff out.
Out.
Yeah.
Exactly. You would want to activate it from the side that you're not standing
Exactly.
on,
Yeah.
in theory. Yeah. So.
Very
uh,
well. Make an investigation check.
Someone else better do this because I am not an investigator.
Yeah, that's not going to work. I got a 3.
I mean, are we all just looking around?
You might as
I'm,
well.
I'm telling
assume,
everyone, look
yeah,
around. There
let's-
might be a thing.
I think that we should all try. Yeah.
The heat's just starting to get to vapor.
I'm rolling very well tonight. I got a 21 investigation.
I hate you. Give me my dice back.
Well,
I got
don't
a
hate him
14.
too much because you do not find whatever it is that you're looking for.
Okay.
All right, then
Then I hate him even more.
I go ahead and I pull out my Wand of Secrets, and I will expend a second charge and point it around and
Okay.
do a sweep.
Okay, Aygir. You produce your Wand of Secrets. You give it a sweep over, and there is no tug that alerts you to anything.
All right. So it was worth a shot. The problem with going through this wall of fire is you'll take damage going through the wall
Yeah.
and being close to the wall on the other side. I would almost
Right.
suggest like it would be. The problem is no matter which way you run through,
Yeah, we're gonna
You-
take damage.
you're
yeah.
going to take damage and you're going to be stuck
Yeah,
behind a wall of fire
exactly.
without necessarily a way to get out.
Yep.
Like if we try the one up top, even if we run through it, we could end up in the smoke area where we're taking
Right.
continuous damage for all we
which
know.
would be pretty bad.
And none of us are strong enough at this point to just tank a wall of fire on our.
No, not
Right.
at all. No, not at all.
Even with fire resist, it would be
Right.
a risky proposal. So
Like I said,
Um,
I think that we just need to search around to try and find another prism.
let's check these alcoves
Mhm.
around where the trap was. Obviously, we kind of got the idea this is where the constructs were,
Right.
but it doesn't necessarily mean that there isn't a hidden.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Exactly.
I also presume that like I would have gotten the rope back from everyone since we're not.
Yeah,
doing-
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Not going through the whole dungeon as a chain gang now.
Yeah, no, yeah. I would have taken it off the moment that we decided not to go in there. Yeah. So I guess we're just investigating all these little cubbies.
Yeah, we'll just continuously go along, and I think you already did your Wand of Secrets at the room to the south, right? The one with the freezes.
Yes, that was the first.
It was one of the ones that you used to charge on because I remember it just
Yes,
looked
yeah.
to us like there was supposed to be a secret door there,
Right.
and there wasn't.
Right. That was the first charge today.
Yeah. No, that was yesterday.
Oh, okay.
We haven't been
Right,
back
right.
to the freeze room today.
That's right. Today I've used it on.
For some reason, you used it on a place that we already knew there was a secret door.
That's right. Because
Yeah.
okay.
yeah,
I meant that to be more like narrative, but it ended up being like
Oh, Esper trapped. Esper kind of was like, "Hey, do you want to use it?" It's like, but we know there's a secret door there.
right. I mean, if there were anything else, I get anyway.
Double checking.
Yeah, sure.
No, yeah.
It's fine. We don't have much use for it other than just testing. things.
Exactly.
All right, so investigate the cubbies.
Yeah.
Esper, what do we need to roll? Just one check?
Yeah. Again, you can do one investigation. You can do perception in these situations too.
I
Oh, we
would very much choose perception.
Yeah. Maybe it's a little different. Perception may not tell you the same amount of information, but you might be like, "Oh, I noticed that
I don't have a negative
that
one to
stone
perception.
looks slightly different color or something." It's
that's-
based.
That's a 16 perception.
That's
Yeah.
a 13 perception for vapor.
And I will be doing investigations. I will be spending time and looking more closely at things. And that is going to be a 22.
There you go.
This die has been good to me. The lowest thing it's rolled is a 14, and the highest it's rolled is a 19.
You just
You
love
now
something
just jinxed it.
You've
Yeah.
done well,
I did,
Aygir.
didn't I?
Though, alas, the only thing that your companions did not notice is just some indications that clockwork automatons had been posted up here and here. Otherwise, you do not notice anything hidden. No secret doors, no objects worth keeping.
Can anyone use that wand, or does it have to be you, like, attuned to it, Aygir?
That's it.
Can you hand it to one of us? Is my question, because I have one suggestion on how we use it.
And what might that be?
I was going to suggest we go back to the super hot lava pool room. I run in there real quick and activate, and then run out.
Why does it have to be you?
Because I've already taken some damage, and it's more efficient that for healing.
Well, it's your funeral.
Yeah, and you pull me out on the rope if I somehow take way too much damage for what's reasonable.
Yeah, you just drop, and then we drag your unconscious body out.
If you walk in there and die, tug twice, we'll pull you out.
I'll tug once as my body hits the floor.
The Wand of Secrets is not an attunement item.
It's not.
So
Okay.
anyone could activate that.
My thought is I just go in far enough because it's 20, 30 feet detection.
Yeah, let's because you should be able to get like around the center.
I mean, I'm going to take the damage by running in there, but the idea is I don't stay very long. It's like I'm touching a hot stove. It's going to burn, but I'm touching it for a second rather than touching it
I don't know.
continuously.
Like if we're speaking action economy too, you could just like dash essentially to get around the whole. Yeah. So.
Well, I'm going to take it when I enter the room.
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
Okay, so I think I've got that.
You've got it.
Walykos, you dart in there, you activate the wand, you only stay for the minimum amount of time necessary, then you spring back out.
Exactly. And you tell me what to roll and what happens.
Okay, so you dart in there, and it's very hot. It's kind of like being inside of an oven.
Mhm.
And from this pit, there's wafting waves through the air and little sparks of embers popping off of it. Truly, you are in the elemental heart here. Yep. And you activate the wand. It does
in the center-ish of the room, so it hits all the walls.
It doesn't give you a pull, a tug, an indication of any secret doors. And then you spring out, and you didn't actually take any fire damage. It was pretty uncomfortable for a second there.
Okay, well that's at least we crossed that room off because I don't want to have to keep going back there. Wondering like, oh, did we miss something? Secret. So
well, we may very well have
how big across is the room? Out of curiosity,
looks about like 40 feet.
35.
35. Okay.
So if I was in the center, it should have hit all the walls.
Yeah. Okay. We know there weren't secret doors in it.
It's just like towards the bottom left, at least from what we can see on the map. There's something there, but that's metagaming. I don't really want to do anything.
There's something there on the bottom left.
I don't.
Well,
see
look
anything.
at the wall, the back wall towards the bottom left.
I think that's just the texture.
I think that's just the texture. Yeah.
Okay.
Burnt bits and soot.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that that's a indication of a secret behind it.
Yeah, and that's as I said. I don't.
I think you're. Yeah, I think you're just reading what the cutout of the fog of war might be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
that must be what it is then.
So, in the interest of pursuing further ideas, Aygir is going to start walking in that direction and say, maybe we should give another look to that clockwork we found. The one missing.
The one way up in the north.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
And when we get there, he's going to pull out the soul stone, and obviously he's not going to put it in or bring it anywhere all that close to it, but just to see if anything happens, like some kind of energy resonates between the things.
You bring the core gem close to the defunct clockwork, and just having it in proximity doesn't do anything. So you do see the compartment where you could secure the core gem, seal the compartment, and supposedly it will activate. There might be something more needed. You might need to try to give it a command or take control of it. Otherwise, it might just see you as an intruder and start attacking you.
Well, I think it's better these dwarves find some rest rather than a place in the heart of a metal dragon.
Yeah, I don't think that we already searched this room for secret doors, I'm pretty sure last time.
And for stuff in general.
Yep. Can you zoom out a little bit, Esper? Just a little bit of an overview.
I mean, I guess we could. I guess we could look. Let's look in the. You see where that the giant illusion is? Let's look over there in that little cup, like that top area.
Yeah, that's where the thing
Yeah.
came out of.
Yeah, because we can like look up there because that seems like something might be up there because there's a lot of rubble, and we found the first prism in rubble. So
A big section of collapsed through wall here, and you look about, though truly you don't find anything of note up here.
Yeah, I don't think that it would be here.
could you zoom out again?
Sure.
What about that other rubble, like right below this one, to the south directly? You see that
Here?
Yeah, like that rubble.
I'm actually thinking of the one to the left where the giant was.
Yeah, I mean we can go there. I'm just trying to like
So
look at like all the rubble.
By this point, I will say this: you all have fairly well searched out and scoured all of the revealed areas on the map,
Okay.
Yeah.
and
I
you're
agree.
not uncovering like secret
New
doors or
secret
any-
places.
So if
So
that's
for
the
the sake of
case, I think what we could do is and I'm obviously not talking character right now, but like we could just send one person up and maybe we do find another prism higher, like lower down or higher up, and like
I
Right,
get what
well,
you're
so
saying.
Yeah.
It does seem rather risky, but
I just don't.
especially because we'd lose the prism if that
No.
person died.
I completely
Right.
understand. I
Right.
just don't see another option right now.
Well, instead of sending them
I
to
have an
explore,
option.
should we not just check to see if we're on the highest level? At least.
Well, so yeah, there's shy of the one brave soul going somewhere on the lift option. There is the start the lift up and see what would need to be done, and if anything can be learned just by inserting a key. Then also, in addition to that, we haven't gone looking in the workshop and that area, the Arcane Sanctum, specifically for one of these things. So it could.
So you're
Unless
thinking
we
more.
think we've also exhausted all
I
the
feel like we.
possible there.
Yeah, I feel like we probably. I mean, can we assume that we searched everywhere up there, Esper, or do we?
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
All right.
okay.
Then-
So,
Yeah.
so here's my suggestion. We're thinking too much like we're trapped down here. Why don't we
Right.
go back to the city and find a way to circumvent the walls of fire? Dispel magic probably would do it if we could get.
Yeah, we get like a
Right.
scroll. Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe see if Connor Spindle knows a thing or two about the various hexagonal keys. And
Yeah,
how they
he
work.
already knows about this area, so it's not like we're revealing.
Right.
Oh no, we found secret.
Yeah. That I
Right.
think that's a good idea. We just go
He's
back.
our
to the
And
city.
he's also got that
You
The
could show him
air
the picture.
well, the other thing is he's
Very
also
true.
got people already see him as a crazy old coot. So anything we tell him, and then if he blabs, they'll just think he's losing his
If
mind
he
even
talks,
more.
he's gonna lose his kneecaps.
Yeah,
No, I'm just
I doubt he'll blob though. I think we.
But yeah, no, he doesn't seem like the type who would. But it's just one of those things. Like if he's talks about it,
yeah.
Well,
no
let's-
one's gonna believe him. It's
Yeah,
And,
but let's do that. Let's
yeah.
go. To,
Honestly, I think that at this point, it's either that or we risk the elevator, and I'm not willing to.
yeah.
yeah,
I
I'd rather
feel
not
like
risk it.
I feel like there's no rush aside from, oh man, we didn't find any cool loot. I'd rather just leave here and come back another time.
Yeah, I mean,
sucky
actually-
as that is.
I mean, honestly, what we could just like go ahead and do the other quest basically, and then like come back here later with kind of spindle and like some kind of dispel magic or something.
Well, we still got days. Like,
That's true. We do. Yeah,
Yeah.
I keep
You got
forgetting.
2 days, I think.
I keep forgetting that we
That's
have 2
today and
days.
tomorrow.
So let's see if the dispel magic option is viable.
I agree.
You all exit the ruins beneath the crumble,
Mhm.
and you make your way to the broken tower.
Mhm.
All 4 of you, yes?
Yeah.
You knock at the door of the broken tower. Boom, boom, boom.
You need to move buffers either in or out.
The door cracks open after hearing the heavy, keys fumbled on the other side, and there is the old hunchback dwarf wearing a mask covering half of his face.
Oh, it is you all. Welcome. Have you come to visit with my lord?
As a matter of fact, yes. Yes, we have.
Well, he is resting now, but perhaps I can wake him gently. Come inside.
And you entered into the somewhat unkempt and poorly lit domain of Canis Spindle, peculiar artificer knight who apparently is the oldest elf in all of Barnacle. And Adelmond, the dwarven head servant, he goes up the stairs, and you hear him take they have a lift of sorts, but not really a lift, sort of a dumb waiter pulley crank system thing. And he's up there for a bit, and you hear the sound of little wings flapping. And fluttering down is a small thing, a homunculus, who looks to be like a 1 foot at the most, 1 foot tall person with these little bat-like wings, almost like a miniature porcelain gargoyle man. And it steps, it perches atop some piece of gaunt furniture, and just is staring at you all and observing you.
Oh, good. He managed
looks-
to build another one. That is most excellent. I feel.
Oh, you're
much
saying
less-
this isn't a pest like a rat or a bat?
Hey! We broke the first one. I feel so much less bad now that there's a new one. Hello, little friend. It's your creator.
He's a beetle climbing up on the wall and grabs it.
I see us working out the kinks still a little bit. Is your creator here? Can you speak? Do you understand?
Well, we're here to see him, so wake him up.
I am afraid this cannot wait, yes.
Adelmond, the dwarf, returns sometime later, coming back down the stairs at the back room, and approaches you all where you're waiting in a rather massive salon.
Yes, he's got a bit of a bad cough, it would seem, but he is always happy to receive you here at his tower. Come.
And the dwarf, brings you up into the higher loft where he generally haunts. And you see Canis Spindle there, beyond the rows of cloth draped shapes of old oddities and contraptions that he's covered over. There atop his chair, and his voice echoes out through the gloom.
Come. Let us speak, my friends.
I offer apologies that I did not come with any grove sheen in hand this time, but assurances that next time the amount will be doubled. And a little bit of good stuff,
No,
I'm
there's
good for it.
no need for that. I ought to calm down on my smoking. I seem to have caught a bit of a cough.
Grove sheen does not do that to you.
Let's
I hope
dispense.
you are well.
Let's dispense with the pleasantries. We're here on business, and we shouldn't take up more of his time than
Always
necessary.
Oh, all right.
What
You
have
don't
you
know the man like I do.
uncovered there?
We have several things to show you, Canis.
Yes, we do.
Magical artifacts which are left over from the time the giants ruled this island. Here, show him the power core, the tapestry, and the rod.
Yeah.
First is the core gem.
Mm-hmm.
He holds it in hand.
We believe that 3 dwarf souls are trapped inside.
His gaze grows distant and long.
This is something that should not be. I could not, with a clear conscience, allow this to remain. We should smash it open and let the souls cross into the beyond.
And you think that is the way to do it? There's no ritual or magic sequence of events, a spell?
Not that I'm aware of. It is a finely carven chunk of quartz.
Oh, it's just quartz.
It
I
is
was
a
hoping it
cage
was
and
more
little
valuable.
more.
If I may, this seems much more valuable than something we should just smash to bits.
Well, Adriel, you may not.
How do
Adriel.
you mean, young man?
Well, I do not claim to have much arcane knowledge myself, but it does seem quite hard to put souls into a gemstone. Seems quite valuable. Could be useful as well.
Yes, it is hard. Perhaps the hardest aspect is coming to terms with the right that binds a living soul. Not sure how one could sleep at night after having performed such horrid rites.
Well, the
Possibly
deed,
with a lot of Groshin.
well, the deed seems to be done, Canis. I don't see why we should just waste a valuable resource.
What if it was your own brother or a son who was bound in here to be used as
Adriel,
combustible for an automaton?
Adriel, I understand what you're getting at. You want to have some sort of use for such an object so that it is useful and gives value, but I don't believe that such an item could be of use to us. And perhaps in releasing the souls, it would end their torment and perhaps be a better end, to rather than putting this on a shelf and hoping one day that we'll use it.
That is value to the whole world, not just to us, even if it may not seem like it at first.
Besides, we do not know how they trapped him. Whoever trapped him could, say, regains it, uses them, and then traps more souls into it. I do agree.
Well, typically they would bind the subject onto a table or other working surface and enact a rite, an arcane ritual that traps the soul within. It can then be used to power various sorts of constructs. A more acceptable way is to bind elemental spirits, as they are not exactly people.
Now I'm starting to get an inkling of an idea of what might have gone on down there. Some bound elemental spirits got loose.
This seems quite an ingenious design.
Well,
devious, even pernicious.
Would the dwarf souls offer more power than the elemental ones?
It depends what manner of dwarf and what manner of elemental.
There's a quality to every soul, I think, is what he's saying.
We all have a small spark of something divine within us, and some that spark burns brighter.
I have no objection to destroying it.
If it is of consolation to you, Adriel,
keep the chunks of quartz that are left over. They could be carved into new form and bear value after a sort.
I do object to breaking a magical item such as this, but I'll go with the majority.
Magic items are meant to be broken, tampered with, rearranged, and reconstructed into new and better forms.
And most importantly, my friend, understood.
Well,
He steps down from his chair, his long leg braced limbs, clopping across the chamber.
If anyone wishes to bear witness, follow me. It won't be any sort of ceremonious spectacle.
we have more things to show you, so lead on.
So you go into a adjacent chamber, which is his workshop, which is
Before
absolutely riddled with a density of shelves, compartments, tools, baubles, trinkets, raw components and ingredients. It looks like organized chaos and also maybe a little bit more chaos than organization, but there is a little, pathway through the clutter that you can. And he sits in his big high back chair at his desk, and he swivels into position something that looks like a massive clamp made of iron. He sticks it in there, and
before he does it, like before he starts breaking, before he does it,
No.
before you break it, is there? Oh, okay. I wanted to talk to him as we were going, but like I didn't get a chance to. I wanted to talk to him like as we were walking in, but okay.
There you are, Adriel. Buy yourself a chariot or whatever that goes for these days.
I'm just gonna drop it in front of him. Yeah, because it's useless. It's worthless. I was going to ask him on the way if there was a way he could commune with the souls before he broke it, but I didn't get a chance to.
there is an effect. It's very subtle, but you just see those little points of light, just like a little tracer in the air that just like fades away. And maybe if one was perceptive enough, you'd hear like a sighing noise echoing and reverberating.
I attack the souls. No, I'm just kidding.
Adriel like actually does scowl a bit at basically everyone, and he goes, "So what we've just done."
The homunculus on a perch nearby scowls back at you.
Yeah. So what we've just done is break a very valuable resource and have nothing to show for it but a pile of dust and stone.
I don't know.
There
about
is
that.
no immediate reward, not in the sense that you are speaking of, but mark my words, there will come a day, perhaps as you are by yourself, falling asleep one night, and the reward will come to you then, and it is the reward of your own sanity.
I lost my sanity many years ago, Connor Spindle, and
An innocent person would not say such a thing.
What you've done, Adriel,
No,
is the right
only
thing.
despairing, lamenting, mopey youngsters say such things.
Vapor's going to reach down and pick up the what's left of the crystal that Adriel dropped after he received the remains.
The homunculus flutters down and helps you pick up the shards, the fragments.
If you would, Vapor, I would retain a shard or two that I might bury them.
This
properly.
is Hollis, by the way.
I'll give you 3
He is
shards.
Duncan's
for 3
replacement.
souls.
And so these shards, what remains of these long lost and unknown to me dwarves, shall lie next to the 2 friends I have lost.
Very well. There are other things, more important things to show you than that object.
Yes, this one especially.
Do tell.
Show him the tapestry next.
I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't show him. He'll just break that too.
Oh, that I would disagree with.
This is a wondrous thing you have found. Hollis, would you raise the light just thank you, just a tick there. Angle, thank you. I might think I had smoked some of that Grove Sheen in viewing this. Wondrous, wavering effects.
Mm-hmm.
What do you know of this?
I know that it has powerful what was it? Transmutation? Conjuration magic on it. But I was unable to decipher any more than that.
He takes a look at it of his own.
I would not have guessed conjuration, but if you say so, you detected its magical aura.
Do we still have the box that it came with?
Yes,
It is
we
right here, yes. Although I suspect it is not a box as such.
Hefty stone box.
Well, it's not made of stone. It's illusion to make it look like stone.
No.
He takes out a hammer.
Tick, tick, tick. Sounds like stone.
The illusion is quite good.
Very so.
And he uses a dispel magic or a detect magic of his own.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see. No, that it might not be stone after all. Perhaps it is cloaked to appear otherwise. Magic aura, as we might refer to it. What do you suspect that it is truly?
No idea.
That I do not know.
It's a safe box of sorts.
Quite safe.
Right.
You
No, we.
use this box still, a coffer.
The problem is
We
we
don't know
believe
the
there's a
password.
password for it, and we have yet to figure the password out.
Password. Let's see.
Unless it's open up in giant, we're not
He,
sure.
he takes out this, kind of metal rod that has a little viewing lens and starts scouring over for perhaps any other details.
Maybe it's on the inside. Yeah. Like,
He has a natural 20.
I bet you it's on the inside of the box somewhere.
Well, that is quite a thing. Yes.
So he's studying it for a moment, and then he's going to tell you some things about it.
Yeah. Okay. I'm curious.
First of all, this is no stone box after all. I suspect that it is crafted of nothing other than adamantine.
I thought it might be, but I couldn't tell for sure. So,
This is the hardest material known, if you were not aware of that already. It does indeed have a magic aura upon it that makes it appear as simple stone. Yes. It has been fortified on top of that, so doubly difficult to break. It also seals once you put the lid on, as you might have surmised, though there is a password.
Does anyone speak giant?
I don't believe so.
No one?
Nope.
Okay. Well, that was in giant.
As best I can
I need you to spell that out.
Kelp club. And when I mean club, I don't mean the bludgeoning implement. I mean as in a group that meets, an enclave, if you will.
Hmm.
Say this, and it will open.
All right. I made a note.
So we basically have a really good safe box if we ever need to put anything.
A strong
I mean,
box, pretty much.
It's essentially indestructible because
Right.
it's adamantine
Yeah,
and then magically.
yeah. So
Right.
we have a really
Open.
good like safe box. So
And we have
And I think the only way anyone's going to get into it is with high level dispel magic. Now this is out of character, so I think we should, out of character, once again, bring this back to our laboratory, pretty much,
Of course,
the Arcane Sanctum, and use it to only store like either stuff that we don't want anyone else getting at, or highly
We'll
detailed
get into
information.
all that, but to me, what this implies is that tapestry is so valuable.
yeah, exactly.
There's something that we need to like. We only found one piece of treasure, but that might be the Monty
Correct.
Hall of Treasure
Correct.
for our level.
We also had the implication that something called the Kelp Club exists, and perhaps they were the
No.
ones who hid it.
Possibly.
I'm going to roll a history check for Connus about Kelp Club, but I'm going to
Yeah.
keep that nat 20 on his knowledge.
Yeah.
Alright.
Kelp Club. Kelp Club.
Does that make any sense to you?
I've not known of such a thing, though there are other historians of giant kind that might give you such local lore.
We could talk to that Christopher fellow,
Oh, yes, of course.
archivist.
Yes, Archivist Christoph.
Yes, Christoph. That's...
He would be a good one to speak with. Now, about this vellum.
Tapestry. Yeah. Can you determine
My
what its
friends.
purpose is?
This is something that I don't know I've exactly seen before. You're looking at a portal.
Portal.
As best I can tell, if you were to go through this portal, you would be somewhere right about, well, there. Maybe there.
He like slightly adjusts the trajectory where he's pointing his finger.
And maybe a good half mile up in the air. You might want to only utilize this portal in a dire emergency, and I'm still trying to figure out exactly how one does use it. I also suspected it can be modified. You might be able to actually shift the image and move the portal if you were to pass through it. I believe it is one way. This is a wondrous thing.
So you're saying this is a teleportation portal magic?
Pretty good.
Yes. That's what I believe.
Is there a way that
And
we can
is
figure
it
out?
If
is it a
you give me some
charged?
time, if you
Yeah.
would entrust me to hold on to this, I could understand it better, I think,
Well,
given study.
if we couldn't trust Connus Spindle, who could we trust? I just kind of look towards Adriel, kind of like with a little smirk.
And if he holds on to it, it's less likely to disappear than if we keep it and are slain.
Don't go activating it, Connus. We wouldn't want you to end up dropping half a mile.
That's
from
what
the
I
sky.
have homunculi for.
Yes, yes, indeed.
No
Well,
offense.
then-
Thomas.
I mean, he can fly, probably.
He flew down to us before, so
I mean,
yeah.
half a mile is still pretty far.
Yeah, he could do it, though. As I said, I would not activate this unless it was dire emergency before we understand
If you could,
particulars.
I was about to say, if you can figure out exactly how it works.
Pardon me. Oh my. Excuse me.
Or, well, yes. Well, if you can figure out how it works and give us the instructions, that would be extremely valuable. Now, does the portal create a... Do you know this much, at least? Does it create a portal in the air that you step through like a
do
doorway?
believe so. Yes,
Mhm.
I do believe so. I do believe the image will transfer from this vellum into the very air, into the space. You will
Mhm.
step through, and I'm not quite sure what happens next. Though I'm
Does it seem as
think it'll
though
be up there.
does it
Well,
seem,
Where it is now.
does
Yeah.
it seem as though it would have multiple? You can use it multiple times, or is it a one-time?
Oh yes, is this like a spell scroll, or is this
A charged
your
item.
self-renewing wondrous object? I'm not certain.
Well,
I suspect it is not a one-time scroll. I
yeah,
suspect this is a permanent item.
which would be worth hundreds of
Yeah,
thousands.
yeah. This is a good item.
Yeah. Now, that being said, because it creates a portal, that implies to me you take the scroll with you wherever you go, and then it closes most likely after you
exactly.
step
I
through.
would suspect so, though. I do not know how long the portal stays open, how many people can go through it. If
You
there
will
are
find the
any
answers to these.
flaws or
Yeah.
perhaps built-in
Yeah,
defense.
it seems as though with enough time you'll be able to uncover the secrets of this for us.
I've seen magical artwork before. This is something decidedly much more.
If you don't mind me moving on, Canis, because we do have much to do. We have one more item that we wanted to show you, as well as
This one's pretty important. Yeah.
yes, as well as a few questions about perhaps dispelled magic scroll if you happen to have one,
Or other
ways of dealing with firewalls.
things of defensive nature down there that we need to bypass.
Walls of fire. I encountered some of those back in the days of the siege.
Indeed. Well, before we get into that, let us show you the last object, this key that we believe goes to a lift. So we show him like the black.
The
obsidian.
prism.
Yes, I am familiar with these. In fact, there are still some functioning lifts of this variety in the towers and castles present day.
Do you know if there's extras of these?
Yeah, do you happen to have another key of one of these keys?
They are not universal. No, each lift will have its own stat. It won't matter which slot you put it into as long as it's attuned to that lift.
Yeah. Well, with that in mind, so do you have ways of getting around these firewalls, perhaps?
The firewalls, well, they burn fiercely. And if you are to step through, you must know that there are certain dangers involved with this. One being that you might need to come back through, and you'll be burned a second time. There are some diabolic dead ends that will dead end you with something that binds you and traps you there with the heat radiating onto you until nothing more than ash. Though sometimes they were merely a ward that the fire giants would fall behind and continue down some hall or into a chamber. So there's a deterrent or a way of damaging pursuers.
Indeed, the fact that they were immune to fire giants would have all the advantages. They wouldn't
They
even need
can
one.
be dispelled, typically, yes. These are permanent walls of fire that you're speaking of.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes,
Yeah.
someone did not cast them before you. Oh.
No.
Typically, they can be dispelled. Now, whoever creates magical hazards and wards, always there's the chance that they have put peculiar modifications, given the means and the knowledge, the rights and the resources to do so. Perhaps they could spring back into existence after being dispelled, after a given time passes, or perhaps it'd be dispelled permanently. You found no manner of switch or activation?
No, we looked very thoroughly through these areas.
At least as close as we could get to the firewalls that we could.
I see.
Would you happen to have some kind of scroll or item even that could maybe be reused to dispel these things?
I have one scroll on hand that I have created that would dispel magic. Creating another would take time and resources. Is this a matter of urgency?
That is a good question. Honestly, if we could take down one of the walls, we could see if it was any valued. I would hope there's something of value behind these walls.
We're really more concerned with the southern one than the smoky one.
I agree. I feel like there might be something further, because if we're talking about just how far the passage extends, that one's closer to the elevator.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
And just it seems like there could be more there. We seem to know, based on the layout of it, that the one leads to the smoky room. Or hallway.
Possibly. That would be my guess. It would be connected somehow.
Yeah.
So one scroll would at least let us attempt to get past it. However, it's not the best solution. Like, I would love for there to be a better solution. We just don't have the means to do it right now. We may have to go back there in a couple levels.
So, out of game or meta,
Yeah.
a scroll of Dispel Magic it's a 3rd level spell.
Yeah.
In order to cast that, you need to have Dispel Magic on your
spell
class's spell list.
Vapor.
Yeah, I think Vapor does. Yeah.
Artificer, I'm not sure.
Also,
being that it is beyond a level of spell that you can currently cast, you'll need to make a
check.
DC 13 spellcasting ability check. If you succeed, you cast it. If you fail, the scroll still crumbles away as though you had cast it. So there's a
Dispel Magic, if you were curious, is on the Artificer spell list as well.
It is. Yeah.
Most excellent. Okay, that kind of fits, I would say. Yeah. So this is nothing to just completely,
Yeah, it's not a guarantee.
Hand wave this, yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, it's the only thing that we can do right now.
Yeah, it's all we've got. So we've got it
from about 500 gold pieces of arcane components.
How much was the diamond thing that he broke worth? Because if we're talking about, because Adriel's going to mention that
maybe around 500.
Yeah, so Adriel, so when we start talking about this, Adriel's going to be like,
maybe less than 500.
But Adriel mentioned. So Connors, I seem to realize that you broke one of our items earlier. It seems fair to give us something in return.
Well, you did find the thing fairly through your treasure hunting. I won't argue that, though none can lay possession to those souls, not without crossing a line that I believe should never be crossed.
Perhaps you do not feel it should be crossed, but I do not care, and you broke a very valuable item of ours. So please, can we work something out for this spell scroll?
Adriel, make a persuasion check.
I'm actually... Wait, I am proficient in this. Good. Please. Nope. That's a 4. It's like the one bad roll I've had all night.
The gemstones are still in your possession. Do not begrudge me that. I have freed those poor bound slaves. May they find eternal rest.
Connors, is there a discount that you could do for the scroll? Because we might bring something back, if not knowledge, items, or something of value that would not be of use to us, but perhaps would be more of use to you.
Now you're speaking my language, my boy.
Yes.
A down payment.
Indeed.
What's that
A
called?
little give for
you
something.
give them the thing that they hold on to, the
Collateral?
collateral.
Yeah.
Collateral. What do you have for collateral? And perhaps you can bring me back something
I mean,
in
you're
exchange
already
for this scroll.
well. At the very least, let's see. There's
Seems to me as though the collateral is leaving the portal.
we've killed the
scroll.
Balai.
Adriel will pull out his
You have killed the Belite. All of them.
Yes,
It
indeed.
would seem that way.
No.
Also, we are leaving in your possession the
I'm
portal
overjoyed in
scroll.
hearing that.
Wait,
Oh.
Adriel
I will
will
rest easy tonight.
will pull out his father's rapier that was given to him. That seems quite valuable.
You're going to put that up for collateral. I wouldn't do that, Adriel.
Well, now it seems to me we are leaving with you the portal scroll. That is a very valuable object. Is that not sufficient?
Oh, that's more than sufficient. That's like
Yeah.
that's like
I don't
putting
I
your
don't-
mansion
I-
up for collateral for like
yeah. You know, Adriel's gonna look to Aygir and say, Aygir, let's not put that up for collateral. We already lost one very valuable item to him.
How about this? I pull out some spell scrolls. I have these 2 scrolls. Scroll of Fog Cloud, a scroll of Sleep. I know they're not as valuable as a Dispel Magic scroll, but together they at least give you something, even if you should lose this dispel to no gain.
Together they approach half the value of the dispel magic.
Exactly. I know it's not going to equal the value, but because you are willing to give us a little bit of leeway for us to find something down there of value to you.
Very well. I accept. And in fact, I am quite pleased by this exchange that we have had here. Knowing that the Ballet have been defeated definitely puts a coating of sugar over all your words now. Very well. I will hold on to the Hog Cloud Scroll.
And the sleep
the
scroll.
Sleep Scroll.
Yeah, I hand them over.
Once you have returned, if you have used this spell magic scroll after all, you will bring me back some sort of payment in its place.
Approximating half the value of what you're...
Yes, we will make a deal that I'm... Oh.
Yes.
The homunculus gets all excited and kind of like does that.
Canis, be sure that you have payments. Perhaps our thing that we find will be of even greater value than dispel magic. So you may wish to have some other things available for trade.
Oh, I might be able to dust off a bauble or two.
Indeed. Well, let us not dilly-dally. We're only going to be in town for the next few days. So,
so there is urgency to it after all.
That is true. I don't know if that was made clear earlier.
Where are you heading to?
We're going to be heading to... do I remember the halfling town? I think it's halflings, right?
Sandbeer. It's there are some halflings there currently because the flotilla is nearby.
That's what I was trying to remember. Sandbeer. We're taking a trip to Sandbeer.
Sandbeer, a historical location.
Indeed.
Many giants were set out. Defeated giant bodies were set out and burned there in that harbor, sent off to their final rest.
As you know, Aygir is such a historian and archaeologist. Yes. He wants to see the sights.
History is largely wrought of kings and wars, and I tell you, a decisive battle was won at Sandbeer.
Well, we'll be sure to take note of all the interesting sights while we're there. And maybe we'll bring some interesting tales back when we return.
I long to travel once again, but, well, maybe perhaps someday.
If you put yourself into a new body, perhaps something with sturdier stuff. I point at the homunculus, something a little bigger than that, perhaps.
I long to feel the wind flowing through my hair as I soar atop a kite sail. I was fearsome, but maybe not as much as some.
Before we leave, Canis, you wouldn't happen to have any way of giving us the ability to deal with these constructs that we met under the rubble?
How do you mean, young Adriel?
Yeah, what do we need that for?
Well, Walykos and I were unable to harm them with the weapons that we had.
Oh,
do you happen to have anything that could give us the ability
upon their plating?
Yes, it seems as though they were resistant, not able to be harmed by us.
Immune to at times as well.
Exactly. Yes, it seems that we may need something to handle.
My dagger, unfortunately, is not able to pierce their magic.
Yes, it was actually quite difficult without Vapor and Aygir. It would have been a much scarier situation.
Oh, we would have just run.
Yeah. I believe I might have something that will help you, and I am overjoyed at your having slain the Balai. I will be sending Hollis to double check on that.
Of course, if needed, I do have at least some gold if that is required.
I have a little gold.
Yeah. Oh, right. No. Oh, damn it. No. My toe. Okay. Here. Yes.
And he brings out a small phial.
Apply this oil to a weapon, and it will imbue it with a first level of magical empowerment. It will be enhanced for 1 hour's passage.
I appreciate this. Thank you.
Oil of magic weapon.
Oil of magic weapon.
Yep.
Now,
Are we now
does-
playing The Witcher?
Now, quick question. So oil of magic weapon.
Is that
right?
2 doses or
Yeah,
1
is it?
dose?
Do we get 2 doses or 1?
I rolled. He only had 1 dose of it left, but it makes the weapon a +1 magic weapon for an hour.
Yeah, it's like casting a magic weapon.
Yep.
Well,
We
probably
have,
better
we have
for
something.
yeah, it's probably better for you, Adriel, with your sneak attack damage.
Mhm.
Assuming it can be, well, most everything can be sneak.
Yeah, I'll keep it in my inventory, and if for some reason you needed it, then obviously it's.
I was using my rapier last night for sneak attack. So
I've got some tricks up my sleeve, worst come to worst, and if I level up, which I'll level up sooner than you, maybe I'll,
Yeah.
get something.
At least we have something at least. So
So, anyways, I say let's go back and just
Try
try
to
to
dispel the magic, yeah.
dispel the magic. If it fails, then we're kind of back in the same situation of do we take the elevator or not?
yeah. But let's at least see if this works. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we got a little time left. We can at least try to explore.
Let's do it.
May your adventures be fruitful, and may you all return back in one piece.
One last thing, Connus, before we go.
Yes.
These rods, the keys to the elevator, how were they made? Is there a way that we could make another one of these, potentially?
That's a good question. I have never attempted to make them myself. I might be able to reverse the
Forgery.
engineering process.
Yeah.
It is right of sort, and the base component that you have in your hand is obsidian.
Obsidian, that's lava of some sort, a lava rock, I think.
It is, yes.
If they're unique, is there a magic aura on this that you would have to copy? Is that what makes it?
I would need to go there and interact with it myself.
All right. Well, we'll hopefully not need to go to that, but that may be something we need to explore down the road.
I haven't left my tower in decades.
He seems quite nervous at the thought of that.
Well, just relax for now. We appreciate your time.
Well, as I said, I hope that you have great and grand success on this endeavor, and I hope to see you again in good shape.
You'll see us probably before a few days are up. So
Farewell.
we'll be back for that scroll. Make sure to study that scroll if you can in the next couple days.
Oh, I will be studying this. You can count on that.
And he indeed seems already quite
Fascinated.
impulgated and nearly obsessing over it.
Excellent. Well, let's go, guys.
You return back. You return back to the lava ruins.
Yep.
And a good call, really good call, by the way, of like, hey, let's go out and draw upon external resources.
He broke our item.
Adriel's like just tears flowing down his cheeks as he sees a magic item.
He freed souls. we found a chance to do the right thing, and we took it.
Nope.
Here's the thing.
Adriel is very much in disagreement on that, but
We'll talk about it after the session.
oh yeah.
But I we'll talk about it later.
It's like it.
So
In the comment here, Christopher Flodin is asking about the magic oil.
Magic
Can you
oil.
apply it to a bow, or you have to use it on each individual arrow? You indeed would apply it to the bow. You
Well,
could put it on one
interesting.
arrow, but that seems silly. When you
Yeah, I poured
Yeah.
on one arrow. I'm like, all right, this is my one magic weapon.
Yeah,
So
well,
you-
maybe it's like this special arrow, and you want that arrow to.
well,
really
well,
drive-
maybe what it is you only just need to dip the arrow in.
Wow.
hmm,
And then I can get multiple uses out of it.
that
Yeah.
seems like a lot of action economy to just use a magic arrow.
No, it's like 10 rounds later, guys. All right, I've got 10 arrows ready. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there we go. How about that? Maybe it could apply to the bow or to 10 pieces of ammunition, and you could like divide up the ammunition amongst multiple.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I
Got it.
see.
Yeah,
You
that
literally just have those 10 shots.
yeah, that's
But
possible. Yeah.
still, there might be a situation where that's preferable.
Maybe.
Yeah, Sounds good.
Anyways, let's go back and see if this dispel magic works. Watch us like fumble it and it explodes in your hand.
Yep.
Don't come on, Vapor. You can do this.
Okay. All right.
All right, so is that the plan? You're just gonna go
So-
right for trying to dispel magic?
Now, here's the question: it's an Arcana check to make that you have to pass.
Spell casting ability.
Okay. So it would be his spellcasting.
Be a charisma.
So
for-
between you and Aygir, who has the better
Yeah.
spellcasting ability?
I suspect that it's Vapor. Aygir actually has the lowest stats of the party.
But
I have an
your
8.
spellcasting
My-
stat. Yeah.
Yeah,
Go
so
ahead.
Vapor has
You have
8.
You shouldn't
what?
have an 8 vapor, just a charisma alone.
Oh, it's just charisma.
Yeah, it's a spell casting ability check.
Oh, so it's,
What's your charisma?
wait.
What's your
So-
charisma score?
So never mind. That should just be 5. No,
Okay,
it's
well,
3.
still 5 is damn good.
Yeah.
I was about to say, wait, you have a 20. Nice.
Yeah.
No, wait. I'm not adding proficiency for that then.
No, it's just
What,
Oh,
what
okay.
is,
And it's
what is
just
your
3.
charisma?
It's 16, so it's gonna be
16.
3.
Okay. And Aygir?
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's
Well then, okay. My intelligence is a 17. I didn't think.
but still it's a plus
But-
3.
Yeah.
It's still a plus 3.
so basically whoever
It's-
wants to roll can do it, and you need to roll a 10
Why don't you
or
both
higher.
put your hands on it and mumble the words together, and we'll just use the.
Well,
better one.
actually, here's a question, Esper. Would Aygir and or Vapor be able to help one of the other ones so that the person can get advantage on the roll?
Yeah, I would just do it like the help thing, like I always do.
Okay.
If you succeed, they get advantage. If you fail, they get disadvantage.
Oh, okay. So so that's up to you guys if you think that you want to take that risk.
7 or higher would be an advantage.
Yeah, 7 or higher would be advantage, and then you need to roll a 10 or higher to pass the check because
Mm.
you have +3. So
Well, that's up to you guys. I'm just here for the moral.
I'm sure that there's some math equation that can determine which course is actually correct.
I know the right answer.
Well,
is-
either way, I think we should do it because
No.
even if we don't succeed on the help,
So here's the answer. Aygir does it. He has inspiration.
Oh, that's true. There we go.
Oh, yep. Very, very true. All right.
so Vapor should do the help action then.
All right.
No, we don't even need to do
You
that.
don't
Oh,
even
yeah, we
need a
don't
help
need it,
action.
yeah.
You can only
Oh, yeah.
get advantage once.
Yeah, so he gets so if he rolls lower than a 10, he just uses. his
Aygir's just
inspiration.
like, today's my day. I'm feeling inspired.
He's just like pulling off his tie a little bit, like, all right. Let's do this."
That's right. That's right. Let me look at this and I'll see how it works. Oh, is that all it is? Well,
You just complete the spell.
then
rolls 2 natural ones.
With inspiration, you do call it before you make the roll. So it's like I'm getting advantage on this, then you roll your 2
Right.
20.
If I don't
Which
use it,
I
if
would
I don't
say
use
yeah.
it now, I don't know when I will. So,
So just to clarify, we're doing that bottom south
Then
one,
that-
right? On the
that's
very
fine.
I
bottom.
agree with that. Yeah.
Okay.
You guys like the bottom one? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. I think both of them probably have useful stuff behind them, but
This one
Let's
seems
hope
this seems
This
better.
one we don't know what it can lead to, and so this is the most likely one that we should
I'm
check.
just hoping for a little magic items.
You see,
that'd
you
be
see,
nice.
you see a 10 or higher Aygir. You got this.
Or
All right.
or one of those bars.
Aygir, you are looking at the scroll of dispel magic. It mostly makes sense to you, and you'll make your intelligence so +3 with advantage.
Got this.
That would have been a bad time to fail. Yeah, no, he makes it. He has a 21.
Yes.
Now, I did
Out of
roll an
curiosity,
18
what
and a
was the other
4.
D20?
The other, one was an 18, the other was a 4. So that would have been bad.
Yeah, that would be really bad if you didn't have
Uh,
the inspiration. Yeah.
Oh,
All right. So you utter the arcane incantation from the scroll. The scroll crumbles away with a slight flash, and you focus onto the wall of fire. And there's a effect like a whipping of wind amongst the flames, and the flames go out.
Go. It might reactivate anytime.
Yeah, we should. Yeah. Actually, we probably should, if we're being honest.
I'm hopeful that it won't reactivate, but let me what do we see, Esper?
What do we see with our eyes?
There is an area beyond as
Ooh,
such, which is
fancy.
one of these rooms that's partially collapsed
Lava.
and ruined and lava pitted, and there are corpses of dwarves in here. They're just skeletal things by this point, And buried and half buried amongst the ruin is just a number of all the furnishings and furniture and accoutrement of the room. And I imagine you're all searching through.
Yeah, we're gonna search the hell out of that place.
We're just gonna search everything basically.
And
Right.
Vapor's casting Detect Magic as well.
I will search the room and then work my way back through the hallway all the way to the firewall, looking for a switch or anything. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
So with
so
this,
no
with
wild
it-
magic as
so it's-
well.
So would this be investigation or perception?
Each of you can roll your choice, perception. or
Perception for sure.
Yeah, perception. For
Esper,
me, definitely.
Vapor is also using Detect Magic.
Okay, so with Detect Magic, I would say this: roll, since you're casting Detect Magic, roll with advantage on your investigation or perception.
That's because he doesn't know if we found the magic treasure in here yet or not.
Okay, so here's the fun thing. They're both the same number of a 16.
Aygir with the.
Vapor has a 16. What else do we have?
I got
Yeah,
a
but-
19.
All right, so
I got a 19.
Okay.
Aygir rolled investigation, of course, because his intelligence is better, and he got a 5.
Okay. Well, you dispelled the fire, so.
Yeah, you get a pass.
That's how I felt when I did my persuasion.
what
I
if
rolled a natural 1.
What of Walykos?
Oh, I got a 16.
A
So we have 2 16s, a 19, and a 5.
Okay, so first I want Vapor to roll a D100.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna have Adriel roll a D100.
Woo!
Wait, do I get a D100 as well?
Yes, you do. Too.
Okay.
I hope I find more dwarf soul gems.
64.
64.
Yes.
That's a. Oh, I rolled terrible. 36. I get nothing.
Okay. So the first thing that happens is Vapor's Detect Magic picks up on something, and he goes over to it there, and you have to like pull off chunks of rock like it was not even visible, and you find it like in this one little specific area, and you pull out a trident, and it has a magic aura on it.
It's a magic weapon. I
was about to say, like,
I'll make it work.
yeah. Well, Walykos, I don't think Adriel can use it because it's not.
Yeah.
finesse,
Well,
so.
unless Vapor can use it as a focus, there's no point for him to keep it.
You're a
I mean, I'm-
sorcerer.
I'm using a dagger because it's cool thematically, but I can adjust my weapon. I haven't committed.
Yeah, like as long as we can like damage things, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
Like,
No, I for the most part, I do think I'm
I
going to.
mean, it might not be a damage magic. It might be like underwater animals. Like it might
no,
be like
no. What I mean is like if it's a magic weapon, you can damage the things that are immune to non-magic.
Yeah,
It
it
might
depends
be
on what it can do.
Yeah.
Once we get it.
There is an aura of enchantment. The school of enchantment magic is upon this trident.
it's Aquaman's trident.
And then Adriel, what did you roll?
36. It was pretty bad.
36. You find a platter and bowl made of silver, dwarven crafted silver platter and bowl. Their total value would be 100 gold pieces.
Oh, that's actually not.
Yeah, get some money. I mean, money will buy you more magic items and
So 100 gold pieces of a silver bowl and what?
Platter.
Mhm.
And platter dwarven made.
plus we need to pay Connus back for that dispel in theory. So yeah.
And what did Walykos come up with?
All right, Walykos came up with a 99.
Oh God.
Nice.
Whoa. Roll a d12 now. And I'm going to laugh so hard if you roll a certain thing.
A certain thing. Okay. 6.
Oh, you were so close.
I thought it was a 9, but it was
So if you would have rolled a 5, you would have just
Dispel
found
magic.
a scroll of
Roll dispel magic. Not to metagame, but I know your D12s are for a D12 random spell scrolls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the spell that you did roll is highly appropriate to this dungeon you're in.
Is it
It's a
fire?
third level spell, and it's a fire spell.
Fireball.
You got a scroll of fireball.
Called it.
It's actually kind of nice. And Walykos can't even use it because he doesn't have spells.
I mean, I could take a certain wonder and be able to use spell scrolls
true,
if I
true.
wanted to.
Does
but-
Aygir find an interesting rock?
Vapor could cast it with a successful DC 13.
or
charisma
we could
check.
trade it back to Connus and
Or you trade it back to
get
Connus.
my
Yeah, get your other stuff. Yeah.
But I mean, it's a useful. It's a real useful scroll to have a scroll of.
It basically, Walykos just like, hey, Vapor, I'll give you this scroll for the trident.
Well, I'll hold on to it, and yeah, we searched this area. Do we find any switches that activate or deactivate the firewall? Just curious.
You do not.
And
Okay.
we don't find like another prism.
You do not. That's what he was talking about.
Oh, that's what. Oh no, I
you're
was.
talking like a wall switch.
Yeah, I was talking about the.
Both the things are not to be
I
found.
found. Damn.
Yeah.
Oh well. All right, well, guys, we're coming up towards the end of the session. I know Esper can't
Right.
stay beyond.
True. Yeah, I can't.
I actually think this might be a good stopping point.
Well, I do
Stay away from
actually
that unless we
have-
got something we need to do.
Yep.
I have one last thing if people can bear with some shenanigans. So,
Yeah.
as we're leaving this room, Aygir, as he is known to do, is going to linger a little bit and
Okay.
just see if because these people found something. How could he not find something? There has to
We
That's
took
just-
all the good shit.
be just one. Oh, I'm sure you did, but there has to be one more secret, right?
Well, you know that chance is always out there, an outlying chance. So I'll give you this.
Roll with
You
disadvantage.
can re-attempt your investigation check.
All right.
So if you fail, there will be a drawback.
Consequence.
That is something that I cannot leave a room or area of a ruin without searching for a hidden door or just one more secret. Applies to, I would say.
Let's imagine like you pull out the
I have to
jackhammer.
find very cool.
You
This-
pull
this
out
is how you-
jackhammer and you're like, I need to find this last secret.
Yeah. This is Aygir's character flaw.
Yeah, go.
I gotta play into it.
All right, go for it.
All right, that is significantly better, though not perfect. That's going to be a 15.
All right,
Yeah,
you
12
got
plus
exactly
three, I
you
can
got
math.
exactly what you needed.
Oh, wow.
Roll a D100.
Okay.
I would
All right, if
laugh
he gets
so
a
hard.
100, I'm going to find. We're going to have to kill
The
him.
drawback was he was gonna like splash lava on himself,
Yeah.
or like
I was gonna
step in
say-
a lava pool.
If Aygir died in the last 10 minutes of the session because he got greedy, that would be hilarious.
I mean, it also
He died the way he lived.
exactly. That's what's going to get him one of these days.
Mm.
That is a 7.
7. Okay.
Could be good.
You have found a component pouch, like an arcane component pouch, filled with just a variety of minor little arcane things. Just what you'd find like in the equipment gear section.
So what's it worth? 50 gold?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Okay. I
not a
mean,
cool
use it.
fireball or a trident. Do you want to make an arcana check, like to see if you know what this is, just by looking at it?
Who, me?
No, Vapor.
You could, but Vapor could too.
Sorry.
Yeah, I would like.
yeah, I'd be really showing some interest in the trident. I'm like, what's that?
That is a 19.
Yep, that's good enough. You identified a trident of fish command.
I knew it.
Yeah.
Aquaman.
It's
Literally
freaking
Aquaman.
It's-
any trident you ever find.
it's a magic weapon. It doesn't have a +1 enhancement on it, but it is a magic weapon. And
Yeah.
per my house rule, magic weapons with the thrown property come back to you after you attack, so that's cool. And it has 3 charges. As an action, you can expend a charge to cast Dominate
Dominate
Beast
beast.
with a save DC 15 on any beast that has an innate swimming speed. And the trident gets 1d3 expended charges back every day at dawn. It does require attunement. And otherwise is trident with everything that a trident does. Like D6, versatile, D8, thrown.
Now, the
25.
attunement is to use the charges on it. I assume I could just swing it
Yes.
as a weapon,
Yes.
and the innate magic will bypass magic.
Yeah, correct.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
So Vapor's going to look over at Walykos. Well, unfortunately,
I'll trade you.
I was about to say, would you
Yeah,
trade?
here. You get the one use item. I'll take the more
Though
useful.
I should point it out that I don't believe you have trident proficiency.
It's a martial weapon. Let me see.
Martial
Hang on.
weapon. Yeah.
Let's see.
And I think you
So
picked your martial weapon proficiency to be the heavy crossbow.
no, heavy crossbow is a simple weapon. I'm pretty
That's
sure.
martial. Light crossbow is simple.
A
heavy crossbow is a martial weapon. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but heavy crossbow, I didn't pick it. I thought that for some reason I was proficient with it.
Well, you could still use it. You just won't get your.
So I thought you'd pick that as your proficient.
No, hang on. I'll make sure because I didn't pick it. For some reason
you didn't mean for that, and you would rather the trident.
Well, no. Hang on. Let me see. So simple weapons, one more. Did it change? Was it always that way?
The only recent change is that it actually used to say it had to be a one-handed weapon, so the heavy crossbow didn't actually apply. I was like, yeah, well, he overlooked that detail, whatever. I'm not going to be a stickler. The only change is that I took off that it has to be a one-handed weapon, so it's just one martial weapon. Unless you are the myth of the hero who has proficiency with all martial weapons and heavy armor.
Yeah, I could have swore that when I chose it, it was a valid choice. And I specifically chose a heavy crossbow because it was the best weapon that wasn't no, it is a martial, huh?
Yeah.
How did
I believe
do this?
in 3rd edition, the light and the heavy were both simples.
But
the heavy you had to spend a standard action to reload it.
So I still think that you should probably use it. Well, like you can still use it. You just don't get proficiency with it. And if we come against one of those machines, you'll definitely need a magic weapon.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care about the proficiency. It's not like I want to use this as my permanent super weapon.
That's true. You just wouldn't have the proficiency added in, and per the Trickster Spry Combatant, you can treat it as a finesse weapon.
Yeah.
All right. Well, some good finds in this room. Hopefully that was what you had been hoping would be beyond the Wall of Fire. And maybe we'll end the session with you all moving back out just in case the Wall of Fire springs back into existence at a later moment.
Yeah.
All right. Guys, another good session there. And I look forward to what comes next.
Indeed.
Everybody, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in episode 14 here in 2 weeks.
Yep.
See you in 2 weeks.
See you later.
Yep. Bye, guys.